presentations underway for the Division 3 Reserves Grand Final. Fantastic end to the Division 3 Reserve season for 2015. Again, not one to resign, get into the Mitcham Football Club. Congratulations to both sides on a fantastic game. Great presentations this afternoon. The EFL Sport members, Civic Miller, Warren Page, and the Premiership today for Mitcham players. Start with today, the medal goes to the Mitcham Football Club. Number 7, Pancake Parlour. We start the presentation for the Premiership today. Number 3.
Going to be crucial on a day like today. Midfield, both sides' midfields are going to be working overtime, I reckon.
Yeah, it's as the umpires the umpires at least by themselves, at least making their way out. They get to run through the BASIN guard of honour there, and the MITCHAM supporters getting their banner ready. It's a fantastic day for supporters, for committee men, for club people. It's not really sure sort of how everyone's feeling. Everyone reacts sort of differently, don't they, Braybeard?
Oh, yes, they certainly do, you know, and grand finals mean different things to different people, you know, but look, one thing I know for sure, Brash, is we're in for a ripper of a game. Yeah, we are, and the thing is that I don't think it matters, Ray, what grand final you go to, if it doesn't put a little couple of goosebumps around your neck, you know, I reckon you're not really feeling the excitement of it. It doesn't worry me. I love grand finals. Doesn't matter whether it's under 12s or seniors. They're all special. They all mean a lot to everyone, and you just like being part of it.
Everyone still wants to play.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I'd love to be out there. I was speaking to Lou, the umpire, and
Lou Tabachira.
Yeah, old Lou, and I asked him how he was going, and he said, I said, you're not umpiring today, Lou, and he goes, I got a bit of a sore hip.
Oh, he's getting old.
Mate, you're a little bit old, Lou, but he even said he still wanted to play. So
yeah, it's certainly like that. Apologies to Aaron Kirkby, radio, who is the man back in the Radio Eastern studios, not big bad Barry Cotts. He just sent one through on the SMS, wants all the credit he can get. Grand final day, a lot of people are involved. 6 minutes until 2:30 here as neither side out on the ground just yet, so we've got plenty of time to wax a little bit more lyrical.
Well, MITCHAM are getting ready to put their banner up, so they must be coming out soon.
And the BASIN banner there, small banners compared to the couple that I've seen.
Probably. You used to go into the AFL,
No,
mate.
I remember going to Tempe 2010 when Tempe won the flag, and of course that partnership with Fremantle, and Freo were playing that night at the MCG against Geelong in a semi-final.
So did Freo donate the crepe paper, did they, Paul?
The Freo cheer squad made the banner for Tempe, and it was AFL size. It was it almost covered up the whole of Walker Park in MITCHAM. MITCHAM FC, a disciplined, positive, sacrifice hunt. History will be as we write it, believe it, achieve it. Inspirational stuff.
It is inspirational stuff, that's right.
Brings a tear to the eye.
The only thing is, the captain who leads them out is the only one that can read it, because he's going to demolish it as he goes through it.
That's spot on. And Jared Whitnish, in fact, the boys led out by Robbie Petrarca. In fact, Julian Petrarca at the front that was. I always get my Petrarcas confused, but the MITCHAM boys, they're prime. Now, this has been 34 years in the making for a lot of MITCHAM people. It's the longest current standing drought in the Eastern Football League. It means a hell of a lot of different things to a hell of a lot of people. But it all culminates this afternoon.
Well, one bloke we probably haven't spoken about for MITCHAM, but I reckon he's had a good year for them, right, is Anthony Faulkner. He's going to be pretty crucial down that centre forward region for MITCHAM today. He's been a bit of an unsung hero, but he does a lot of what I would say the tight end work for the, in NFL parlance for the MITCHAM Footy Club.
Yeah, look, certainly he's the one that sort of is capable of bobbing up with his 2 and 3, and he just slides under the radar a bit. So certainly a very, very dangerous player. Now, just quickly, we'll go across, and I'll start with you, Wayne Brasher. A tip for this afternoon for the winner, the margin, and maybe even a blue ribbon medalist.
Look, I've got to go MITCHAM. They've been the form side all year. They've done everything right. 16-1-1. A nice tune up in the second semi-final by Templestowe. I just think they've got class all over the ground. I expect MITCHAM to win by 7 goals. Best player?
Yep.
Well, that's an interesting one. I'm going to go for Josh Bell.
Fair enough. Ray, do you see it, Raymond?
Yeah, I'm going for MITCHAM as well. I'm going to by 6 goals, and my medalist will be Braden Cross.
And you're on the boundary with Andy Paolacci this afternoon, so you better make your way down there shortly. It's a great day to be outside.
Thanks, mate. I knew you'd turn the sun on just for me.
Dino, your tip, margin, and maybe your best on ground as well?
Well, yeah, well, I don't know about 6 or 7 goals to MITCHAM. I think you're underplaying BASIN a fair bit there, but, you know, it's going to be pretty tight. Look, you know, history says that, they don't give them away, and MITCHAM haven't won one for a long time, and haven't played for a couple of weeks as well. So that can sort of, the start's crucial. But, look, I'll probably stick with MITCHAM. Sorry, Colts, but, yeah, I just think that they're probably ready to go.
And best on ground?
Oh, look, you can't go past their coach, Winterton.
Yep.
If he gets going, mate, I think he's a class above anyone else out there. And if he does get going, it's going to be good to watch. And
from where I sit, I think the break from Mitcham, only one game in the last 3 weeks, means they might start a little bit slowly. So I'm assuming, or I'm tipping a BASIN lead at half-time by 3 or 4 goals. And Mitcham to come out in the second half and stamp some authority and maybe win by 3 or 4 goals themselves. Robbie Petrarca, I'm thinking about for best on ground. He's an absolute bulldog, does a lot of the grunt work for Mitcham, and on grand final day, well, that's exactly what is required. The BASIN ready to bust through the banner here. We're about 3 or 4 minutes away from a start. Back to the studios for one last break, and then all the action here from East Burwood Reserve on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League.
EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to f.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand.
John always said his send-off would be different. He wasn't wrong. He was a fun-loving guy who had a passion for flying. So last week, John's family and closest friends celebrated his life on a charter flight over the Yarra Valley. They took in the breathtaking views, enjoyed a glass of bubbles, and told lots of stories.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So celebrate your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mitcham have won the toss and will kick to the southern end of the ground in the first term.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better.
Ladies
Eastlink,
and gentlemen,
it's time better
on behalf
spent.
of the Eastern
In
Football
sparkling
League,
boots.
welcome
Program
to
sponsor.
East Burwood Reserve for the 2015
Saturday Game Day
Division 3
continues.
Senior Grand Final. To be played this afternoon.
Let's head back
Mitcham
and go
and
local
the BASIN.
for your footy.
Mitcham finished the home and away season in first spot on
Yes,
the
grand
ladder
final day.
with 16
Mitcham
wins
taking
and
on
2
the
defeats.
BASIN. Both
BASIN
sides
finished
just lining
their
up
home and
for the
away
national
season in
anthem. A
third spot
perfect
on the
chance
ladder
to
with
introduce
14
our
wins and
second
4
special comments man. Usually is Mr. Sunday morning, but today is Mr. Sunday afternoon. Gavin Casey, welcome to the broadcast. Looking forward to a fantastic game, I'm sure.
Final today with a 27-point win.
Turn yourself on there.
Yeah,
well done.
rookie error. But I've had 2 games under my belt, so I'm fatiguing already. I'll have to get the...
One went into extra time too, so you got your money's worth there.
Exactly, so it's looking forward to this game. Missed my Sunday, my usual Sunday. It's like getting bacon, eggs and coffee, the EFL Sunday. It didn't happen for me. So looking forward to this. Mitcham have to be favourites. They'd have to be considered, odds on. But, underdogs, if they can get an early goal or two, they put the pressure on. We've seen Mitcham last year against Templestowe. Paul, you'd be very happy on that day. when they got the nerves.
Yep.
So that's in the back of the mind, I reckon, and that's what BASIN will be playing
It can
on.
happen, and obviously we've seen the other side of the ledger where Warren-SmithSpecial were able to run over the top of Tempe last year, but it's always harder to reel in a lead than to hold on to one. So, if anyone starts well, that'd be fantastic. The Australian national anthem now. No, can't hear it. It's not coming through. Grant Campbell, good chance to
sing.
Say hello. Yeah, no, thank you.
Perfect. No one wants to hear that.
No, thank you.
Really? No, you and Brad Henderson together.
Good chance to wax lyrical, RE. A few numbers for us heading into this game.
Yeah, if you look at the stats for both sides, there's not a huge discrepancy, surprisingly. Apart from the wins and loss column, Mitcham have kicked 100 points 12 times in the home and away season, the BASIN 10. Both have conceded 200 points on 2 occasions, and the BASIN are actually the most accurate side into the division with a scoring accuracy of 56.2%. That's equal second in the entire EFL, so they do capitalise on their chances, and you feel like they'll need to do that today to get over the line. I'm tipping Mitcham by 4 goals and Neil Winterton to be best on ground.
Prince of Paddington, Ben Warren-Smith, the broadcast manager of the Eastern Football League. Grand final week doesn't stop for no man, keeps rolling on this afternoon. How do you see this one playing out?
Picturesque conditions out here today. Seymour out at East Bellwood Reserve. There's a big crowd out here, and it's great to see 2 great sides go at it in the Division 3 grand final. Mitcham, well, they've taken all before them this year, haven't they? Have been really excited about what the BASIN have been able to do over the last couple of weeks during the final series. And, well, I can't go past the Tigers today, mate. It's I'd be expecting about a 5-goal win, I would say.
Very hard to do so, and blue ribbon medalist from yourself, a plethora of fantastic footballers to choose from.
David Searle, one of my favourites.
Not bad at all. One of the unsung heroes again of this Mitcham side, running as good as on schedule, just 4 minutes behind, which is fantastic considering there was an extra time game this morning. Both sides just making their way into position. It looks like Mitcham are kicking to the right-hand side, the southern or the Oakley end of the ground here at East Burwood Reserve. And
there's a definite wind going to that direction. It's pushing it from left to right. That right-hand pocket is where the ball gets sucked into from coming towards from the athletics track. So it's a definite wind advantage.
Yep.
When they're having set shots, if they aim for the left post, that's where it'll drift back into the middle from.
And let's cross down Boundary side for the first time this afternoon. Thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci and Ray Baird are on the spot. A ripping day to be outside, fellas. What's it like down there at ground level?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful down here, Semmers. I'm going to get sunburned today, I tell you what. But Gav Casey is right. That wind is definitely pushing across to the southern side towards that 3 standard drinks banner there that you can see. And yeah, look, it's absolutely picturesque conditions. The ground's looking at an absolute number. I'm following the Bears today. I'm looking forward to Cardamone and Coltrera doing their things, strutting their stuff in the forward line and for a Bears victory. But I do think the Mitcham side will get up. Witness my blue ribbon medalist.
Not bad. Ray Baird?
Yeah, look, I think that Mitcham will get up by 6 goals. But look, just looking at the crowd out here, huge big crowd out here, and why wouldn't you want to be at local football? And on the interchange bench for Mitcham, we have Marrow, Andrietta, Halstead Wild, and Bolterwick.
Thank you very much, Ray Baird. Players in, and Andy Paolacci, of course. Players in position here. It's Higginson and Batty to do battle in the ruck to get this Division 3 grand final underway. 25 degrees in a picturesque East Burwood Reserve. You couldn't ask for anything better. There's the first disposal out of the centre. That went to Bolterwaite towards half forward for Mitcham. Picked up by Hogle. Handball's on. Here's the first shot on goal for the Tigers. Just to the right-hand side. Looked like it was Anthony Faulkner. It certainly was. Dream start from him, almost. Just to the left-hand side. There's the first score on the board. 1 behind to Mitcham. That took all of 20 seconds.
Tops.
Short kick in from the BASIN. It's gone the wrong way. Matty Price couldn't take the mark. Under a bit of pressure now. Tigers pressing hard. Going in again is Price.
They're going to the wrong pocket as well.
Overruns the football. Doesn't help they didn't hit the target either, Gav Casey. Umpires come in and plucked out a free kick for too high. It's going the way of the Bears. It's going to Daniel Price.
Dean, where would you defend from? Which side of the ground?
Oh, I haven't really been out there for the last half an hour, but it was pretty breezy in the reserves. But yeah, probably the other side, the way they're going now.
Goes short to Smith and then gets the handball back. Now the ball's on the outer side. Long up kick towards the wing. Strong mark taken there by Jaden Brown. Gets the handball on. Bears at half back. Happy to hold this football up. Cripps back again. Playing the quarterback role there is Price. Turns the football over, though. There's a long kick to the goal square. How's it going to bounce? Through for the first goal of the day? I think so. How's the goal umpire seen that? I think he's waiting for the all clear.
He's not coming up
Range Trust get together.
Video.
Umpire's got no idea. Looks like it's going to be a goal. It is! First blood to the Tigers. Not 100% sure who actually got the kick away, but a fantastic start from them, no doubt. The flying kick, I think it might have been Anthony Faulkner.
It was.
David Searle. David Searle.
Oh, it was
David Searle. Thank you very much, Andy Paolacci, boundary side, thanks to LifeCare.
BOG.
First goal on the board for the Tigers, 1-1-7. They lead the Basin, who we get to score.
They got the Vuvuzelas. It's like South Africa around the ground at the moment. We're just going to hear this hum.
The Bafana.
So Batty to go up against Higginson in the ruck. Higginson got the knockdown. That was good play. Stacks on the mill, Batty over the top, and we'll have a restart in the middle of East Beld Reserve.
Interesting to see when Batty ties if they bring Aaron Jones up into the ruck.
Throws it up now. Batty had the front spot. We'll give that one to him. Soupy comes down to Watson on the right boot, drives it inside forward 50 in. A strong mark's been taken there by Jaden Brown. He had good jukes there, and he'll have a shot from about 45 metres out from goal.
He just gloved one up at half back, so he's working pretty hard. He's pretty fit, the young fella.
Yeah, he certainly did, yeah.
He can cover the ground.
So a chance for the quick answer here. Mitcham, 2 quick scores. They lead by 7 points. We've only gone 5 minutes into the first quarter here in the Division 3 Grand Final. Tops. Jaden Brown crosses the arc now. He kicks hard at the football. It's a good-looking kick, but he pushed it to the left-hand side and through for a minor score. First score for the Basin. They trail by 1 straight kick. They are 1 behind. Mitcham 1-1-7.
Dean, I reckon the Basin would prefer to work it from a stoppage scenario. They stop-start, get it going that way.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Pickles has got them pretty well drilled. They're great. I reckon they're the best side at the stoppages.
Johnson has got Bell out wide on this broadcast flank. Doesn't even look in that direction. So drives it long to a pack. Petrarca comes out, drops the mark. Has plenty of time, though. So gets a long left foot kick up to the wing. He was looking for Higginson. It's gone past him. Price will be the first one there in response. Plays for a free kick. Push in the back. You're spot on, BWS. Gets a penalty against him for a deliberate out of bounds. So free kick on the outer side to be taken by Searle of the Tigers. Pumps it inside 50. He's looking for Pym. Ball over the back. That's Faulkner. Out of mid-air, the outside of the boot. Oh, how about that? So Anthony Faulkner, he's kicked 2 behinds. Mitcham have 1 goal, 2. The score is 8 to Mitcham, 1 to the Basin. 7 points of margin, 4 minutes gone first term.
Was that Jackie Chan out of the pocket?
Yeah, it was very exciting stuff. Last kick in from the Bears left a lot to be desired. This one's gone to a pack. Mitcham have the numbers. Hogle of the Chris variety got the kick away off hands. It's going to be a free kick. It's coming back to half forward.
We've put the effects mic right next to Mitcham, I reckon.
50. And 25 too. Looks like it's going the way
of
Neil Winterton.
But how do you umpire a grand final? I know we up here don't know, but is it in imposing getting your stance on the game that we're not going to tolerate certain things? Is that how it goes in grand finals?
At the start, I think, yeah, but I think they... there's another goal.
The playing coach of the Mitcham Football Club stands tall on grand final day. He's got an early one. Mitcham have 2 early ones. They go to 2-2-14. The Basin at 1 behind, 13 points of margin, 5 minutes gone. First term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Boundary.
It's crossed down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare, Andy.
Yeah, Gav was right. We've certainly got the Mitcham faithful right behind us. They're going absolutely spastic here with every goal that's scored. And yeah, plenty of Tigers in support, I can tell you that now.
It's the perfect start, and I think the wind advantage is about 2 goals at least. So it's you get about 10 metres on your kicks all day, I reckon, kicking to the right.
And he got the knockdown. Price charged after it. Stacks on the mill, and we'll have a bounce in the middle.
Be interested to see if Glassborough does put someone behind the ball. If Mitcham kick another goal or 2, if he tries to slow it down a bit.
Higginson got the knockdown, taken there by Adams. His handball was half smothered. Batty got the knockdown. That was good play. Here's Price, got it away across to Daniel. Inside forward 50 they go. And the mark has been taken there by Brown, so he's getting amongst it.
At full stretch too, that wasn't a bad mark either. Just got the 1 mid up.
I'm not sure whether Purcell can really go with him, to be honest.
Seems to be quite agile.
It's his 3rd mark.
So he had a ping from this side of the ground, so he didn't judge it properly last time. He might have a fair old crack at this, and it kicks it to the top of the goal square. A big fly over the back. They've still got the numbers at the fall. The ball, the Basin, stacks on the mill, and will have a bounce just about 5 metres out from their goal line. See the flags in the background. It looks like more than a 2-goal breeze. There's no doubt about that. Came out, Bell couldn't quite trap it. Good solid tackle there by Jackson Glossop, and we'll have a bounce once again.
Here's another one that's 9 times out of 10 has the long sleeves on, Jacko Glossop, but obviously not the day for it today.
Throws it up, charging through there was Kruger. Got a boot to ball, it hasn't gone far enough. The umpire said play on, a snap on goal.
Free kick,
and
too high.
Kick will come back to the Basin.
Price?
Not sure what's yes, it will be a free kick to the Basin.
They were checking with the goal umpire if it went through the middle, and then they went for a point.
That's a free kick was definitely there. That's Daniel Price got the kick away. Just
Jaden Brown's the recipient, I think.
No, it's going to go to Price.
Yeah, spot on.
Copped an elbow to the face just as he got that kick away. Accidental, I'm sure.
So Daniel Price, surely he's going to kick the first goal for the Basin. You would expect he's only about 25 metres out from goal. He comes in now, he kicks hard, and he pushes it to the right-hand side. So another minor score to the Basin. That's 2 chances they've had to kick a major, and they've failed at both attempts. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they trail by 2 straight kicks as we cross the 10-minute mark of the first term.
The third shot on goal, if you can't. Brown's second attempt that went across the face. So they're manufacturing enough shots when they get the ball inside 50. Johnson, again with the kick in for the Tigers, goes to his skipper Whitnish, who plays on out wide to the wing. Just falling over there was Boltrawait. Picks it up, handballs to Bell. Josh Bell on the outer side. The broadcast wing here at East Burwood Reserve. Low flat ball to half forward. Mark not taken there by the Bears. We'll have a stoppage right at half forward. That was Cameron Cripps diving across and grasping that one. The tap again from Batty. Second attempt there down on the ground. Boltrawait overruns the football. Price was looking for Morris. Just missed him with the hands as well. Trying to burrow his way through. There was Mark Watson. So another stoppage at half forward. Price. Handballs back to nobody in particular. Was looking for the other Price. Couldn't find him. And the tackling pressure from the Tigers is strong.
They've got to watch Mills at the stoppages. He starts behind the ruckman and he just goes 100 miles an hour.
Done the same thing there. That tap from Batty just hits the ground level, and here's Mills, as if on cue. Finds Price, who goes out wide again. So long right foot kick towards Brown, out in front of the scoreboard, bouncing ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
The clearances are 6-1 in favour of the Basin, thanks to Choose Tap.
Thank you to Grant Campbell. Ball back into play. Batty. He's going to dominate the hit-outs today, I get the feeling. And clearance with the Tigers. Bouncing ball to half forward. Strong tackle laid there by Clint Jones.
You just get the feeling that's how they'll manufacture scoring opportunities. As you said, Jaden also leading to the ball. He's got 2 metres on Purcell.
And that the Price boys just dominating out of the centre for the Basin. There they go again. Danny Price. His kick couldn't find a target. The boundary line eventually wins out again. So the Basin working hard, just struggling across half forward to really get that football into a dangerous spot. They've got Aaron Jones at full forward. He's got Johnson and Purcell to deal with at the moment. So any quick kick would be going to a pack. It's exactly what happens there. High up and under to half forward. No mark taken. Snatched by Coltrera. Handballs into a bit of space. There's Aaron Jones on the left boot. High up and under. It's going to land in the goal square. Dropping back, taking the mark. It's Johnson. Goes long to the wing. Bell helped out over the line by Luke Watson. We'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing, right out in front of the interchange gates here at East Burwood Reserve. MITCHAM by 12 points, 10.5 minutes gone first term.
So right in front of the big crowd here, Batty got the knockdown. I said it was a free kick.
Yeah, Whitnish.
So Jared Whitnish, the co-skipper of the Tigers. There's a neat kick in towards the middle of the ground. They wanted to play on with it there, and it was chopped off there by Christie. Comes out towards the Coltrera direction, who just arched the back. He was looking for Garrity, but it was stolen. Now the Tigers get a chance to drive the ball forward. Will it bounce favourably for Pimmy? Swings around on the right boot. That is an absolute cracker. What a ripper goal by the big full forward, Stephen Pym. And that is the first contender for the Westfield Knox. Goal of the day. Mitcham have 3.
Boundary.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to LifeCare, Ray Baird.
There's a lot going on with both sides, boys. There's players coming off the ground. They're clashing, and we're just being asked for our own safety to move away from the interchange area.
Don't get in the way, Ray.
Oh, fantastic stuff. And that was sharp work from the Tigers. Helsted Wild, who sent the ball in the direction of Pym after chopping off the handball from Coltrera. So good defensive work there from Mitcham. They lead by 18 points. 3-2-20, plays 2 behinds. Big Wow Jones in the ruck for the Bears now. Gets the tap down to Kruger. He doesn't go in here. Runs into a brick wall in the form of Jared Andriata.
It's interesting that the Basin haven't put one in the defence. They've actually put it into the middle. And it's left Purcell to be the one out in the defence, being the sweeper, which he much prefers. He'd hate a leading option to man him up.
Good old-fashioned fifth on baller from the Bears. There's Kruger with the clearance. Up towards half forward. Man in front paid the mark surely. Umpire says play on. We'll have a ball up instead. Pretty stiff there, I think. Jackson
very
Keane.
stiff.
Yep. Usually see those ones paid to the man in front. Trying to barge his way through there is Christie. Braden Cross plays another strong tackle for the Tigers. There's plenty of feeling here. Jones up in the ruck against Higginson. Jones uses the body well. He gets the tap down. Only as far as Garrity. He's helped to the ground again. So stoppage fest here in the middle of this Burwood Reserve. 18-point lead to the Tigers. Third man up for them there. Running onto it is Robbie Petrarca. He leaves Max Kruger in his wake. Sends a left foot ball up towards Stephen Pym, who can't quite take the mark. But Faulkner runs onto the ball and then runs into an open goal. He's kicked his first. Mitcham have their fourth. 4-2-26. The Basin 2 behinds, 2 points. 24 points the margin. About halfway through the first term here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, interesting that Jones was in the centre and Mitcham got the ball out wide.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to LifeCare, Raymond.
I tell you what, the Tiger supporters, they're up and about. They're a noisy lot right behind us.
Yeah, the Basin have finally dropped the extra back. Cripps was the extra and he just got taken over the top of him.
Jones and Andrietta go at it. Free kick, here's Mills for the Basin. This way, that way, then drives the ball inside forward 50, looking for the Brown direction in front. Jackie Purcell couldn't quite pull it down. Jones goes after it again, nicely done there by Christie. Got the little handball away to Keane, who didn't do enough with it in the end. He might get another chance though. Broke the tackle, got boot to ball, kicks it into the pocket. Jones, it didn't go far enough. He needs to get the handball away quickly, and that's okay. Here's Thompson.
No, hold the ball. Umpire said it was a throw. Or holding the ball.
Holding the ball. It was the lightest of tackles.
So Purcell from the back pocket. Spoke to him on the huddle during the week. Drives it up towards the wing position or half back line, and we'll have a bounce. 4-2-26, plays 2 behinds on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 16 minutes into the first term. Mitcham are off to an absolute flyer here. Trying to break his way through there was the hyphen, holds deep wild, but the umpire said, give it to me, we'll have a bounce. Quick restart. Free kick given away by Aaron Jones that time.
Former Templestowe player, Aaron Jones.
First Tempe reference for the afternoon as it comes out into the direction of Julian Petrarca. Got the little handball away. Here's Bell on the right boot. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Looking for Pemmy. Well, he was right there to take it, and he laid a fantastic tackle too on Matty Smith, but also could have almost been a little bit too high, but the umpire said, give it to me, and we'll have a bounce. 45 metres out from goal. I'm liking the fact that they're restarting these stoppages nice and quick. It comes out towards the Cripps direction. Couldn't quite trap the football. It was a look-away handball, and it was a silly one, but Pym's given away a free kick, and Cameron Cripps will get a chance to reprieve for the Bears. Bring it out to the broadcast side, looking for Daniel Price, who takes a mark. He's had a lot of possessions early in this first term. BASIN, safe to say they need a goal, but it's chopped off there by Watson on the right boot. He kicks it to the hot spot, but there was nobody home. Nice little mark taken there by Cripps, got the handball away. Here's Smith over the top, got it away towards Jones. It looked like he wanted to go on with it then, but the big man just had the poise to go back and kick it long into the middle of the ground. Nicely read there by Price, got the handball away. Keane, he tried to get it away, nicely trapped there by Purcell, who got stripped of the football. It might be advantage paid here. Price gets the handball away. This is the first go for the BASIN. Kick goes to the top of the goal square, and it might work out here. And Brown just couldn't get boot to ball. He'll have another chance. That is an absolute perler. And when you talk about Westfield not goal today, well, he's now the main contender. First goal on the board to the BASIN.
Well, he dived for the ball instead of just kicking it off the ground, and then he made a mistake, but he was quick to bounce up to his feet, and then he spun in the tackle, so he was facing the goal a metre out and got the goal.
Yeah, and you can take a bow. Joshy Adams up at half forward. He laid the tackle on Jack Purcell that got the free kick, and it was smart use of the football, and you're spot on. That was really well called, BWS. That was as sharp as you'll see in the goal square from young Jaden Brown, who's had a great start to this game. The BASIN out of the middle. Wow, Jones roves his own work. Left foot ball inside 50. Jaden Brown in the front position. Drops the mark. Purcell goes in after it. Picked up there by Christie. Sorry, Josh Adams it is rather. He's tackled by Braden Cross. We'll have a ball up at half forward for the Bears. We've kicked the goal. They're on the board here. They trail by 18 points. Maxi Kruger handballs it straight to Jared Whitnish, who's off to the races. A couple of bounces on the far side at East Burwood Reserve. Long left football inside 50. Pimmy tries to go from 5 deep. Far too early. Unrealistic. Free kick against him for a push in the back.
No, it's Marrow who gave it away in the end.
It's going the way of Macon. Short to Daniel Price. He plays on without really having a look. Puts himself under some pressure. Bouncing ball to Adams, who has to come back across goal. Back to Dean Macon. Short ball to Garrity. Drops the mark, but turns around and plays on. Smart kick over the back to Price. He's got Kruger in support, ignores him. Goes to half forward. Good use of the football here by the Bears. Just got to pick it up here does Danny Price. He can't quite do it. Adams lends some support. Back to Kruger. Forward again. There they're going inside 50. There's Chicken Price. Diving mark in the forward pocket by Jackson Keane. Well done, little fella. Good transportation of the football there by the Bears. Both Price boys, Kruger and Josh Adams involved. And it's all going to culminate in an uncontested shot on goal from Jackson Keane, 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
It was like a train in Calcutta. It was bouncing around all over the place. So you talk about transportation. It wasn't so smooth, but they were getting it forward.
Jackson Keane wastes no time. That's an absolute mung off the boot. Somehow doesn't make the distance. Mark taken on the line by Lee Warren. And he went to play on straight away, but the umpire decided that he had to go back over his mark. So the smother affected won't count.
He gets an extra 2 metres. I don't reckon the backman deserved the 2 metres.
I think if he decides to play on, that's it. And there's a long kick up to half back. Cardamone had it knocked away from him. Julian Petrarca kept his feet, tries to kick it to himself. Swooping on that ball was Hogle. Handballs to Robbie Petrarca. He's got Pim in a one-on-one, goes over his head. Oh, that's a funny old bounce. It's almost gone at right angles, Shane Warne Rongan style. It's gone through for a behind eventually. 4-3-27. The Tigers, the BASIN 1-2-8. 19 points the margin. 19.5 minutes gone here. Bendigo Bank scoreboard first term.
There's the win, giving it 10 metres on the kick.
Actually hit the post, that ball, so it was incredibly close as Cripps kicked the ball out. MITCHAM send it forward once again and over the boundary line for a boundary throw in, about 20 metres out from the MITCHAM goal line.
I like how MITCHAM, when they open play, they'll have 2 half forwards and Pim is the only leading option in the 50, so they're keeping it open and they're bursting forward, running it in.
19 points the margin. It's deep in the MITCHAM forward line. Comes out towards Price. Isn't he having some sort of a first quarter for the BASIN? Knocked it away. Going after it there was Cameron Cripps. And we'll have a bounce far side of the ground. East Burwood Reserve.
Clearance is 14-5 in favour of the BASIN.
Grand Soupy Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap. Big knockdown there by Jones. That worked out okay, and it comes across to Mills, whose little handball worked out okay, and they worked the ball down towards the wing position, the BASIN. I'll get another chance here. Came out now. Matty Price Should have probably kicked it. That was his first option. Good smother there by James Holstead. Wild and over the boundary line she goes. Right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today so far. 20 minutes into this first term, 19 points the margin. Higginson, big knock that time, straight into the arms of Mills, who linked up okay there with Bryce. Little look away handball, went into no man's land, taken there by David Searle on the right boot, drives it up towards the half forward line there for Mitcham, but it was nicely done there by Adams, who might go for the old 1-2 here. Strong tackle there by Jules Petrarca, and we will have a ball up. Co-captain saying he copped one high. High says play on. No clear knockdown that time. Andreetta got that little handball away. Petrarca linking up well, and now the Tigers go forward. Inside 50 they go. It's a one-on-one situation. Little look away handball there by Hogle. Went into, well, we'll talk about no man's land. That's where it went, and a little boot to ball sees it go over the boundary line and out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
The handball count is 33-8 in favour of the Basin. Are they over-possessing the ball by hand so far?
Certainly their preferred method of execution.
Brings it in, and then we'll have a bounce. It was a short throw in. Time on's been called.
They definitely won the second half of this quarter, the Basin, quite comfortably. Controlled the footy really well.
22.5 minutes gone in the first term. Got a blood rule coming off.
Morris. Yeah, Jono Morris.
So Batty. Andreetta will go up against it. Batty, he had the front spot that time, got the knockdown, a little handball also.
Boundary. Every single player in that 50 or that half of the ground.
Cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare. Andy.
Yeah, Johnny Morris, just a little cut on the knee, nothing too serious. He's just getting patched up now. He'll be back in no time.
Band-aids fix all. Umpire throws it in. Comes out, Hogle on the left boot. Can he get it off curl on that one? He can. Well, they're off to a great start here, the Mitcham Football Club. They have 5 goals on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, moving them to 5-3-33. We've gone 24 minutes here in the first term. The Basin 1-2-8.
He'd be really frustrated with that, Pickles, because they just got the ball down the right-hand side, and the left footer, you just can't let him run around the back like that.
Disappointed with that, the Bears. They've had enough of the football themselves. Just the way Mitcham are going inside 50 and probably making it impossible for them to really defend it. It's 8 shots on goal from probably 10 or 11 inside 50s. Soupy, what are the numbers there? Inside
50s, 13-7 in favour of Mitcham. That's about the only area Mitcham are currently winning apart from the scoreboard.
Batty up in the ruck against, is that Jared Whitnish or Andriata it was that was going up in the ruck for the Tigers in the centre there against Batty. So unusual role for him. Batty taps it forward to the contest. Running onto it there is Cripps.
He's just crucial, Batty, isn't he? When he's in the middle, you know, their clearances are so much better.
It's brought to ground by Winterton. So we'll have a ball up at half forward here for the Bears. Currently trail this one by 20-odd points. There's the kick inside 50 for the Tigers, who have got that away from the stoppage. Pimmy has a little bit of space. He'll lead in the race for this football. Couldn't quite bend down low enough to pick it up. All of a sudden, it's bouncing all the way out to half back. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 25 points of margin is here at East Burwood. 25 minutes gone in the first term. Tigers' dream start so far. Batty lays a strong tackle on Boltrawaite. Guy says, I'll have that again, fellas. Tapped by Andriata over the back. Free kick. It's on the way of the Bears for a hold. Taken by Matty Chicken Price. Eastern Football League legend, of course.
Dangerous kick in the middle.
It is just over the head of Mills, who was good enough to bring it to ground. Sweeping handball forward by Cripps. Now they're going inside forward 50 through Adams. He's looking for Brown. Brown versus Warren. Warren has the better of that battle, picks it up and thumps it outside 50 with his left boot. Up in the direction of Marrow. He's just going to have to take clean possession here. He had Macon hot on his hammer, but he's happy to see it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in on the outer side.
The good old fumble it all the way to over the boundary line there, helped Marrow.
Yeah, I don't think his intentions were overly well hidden, but Umpire hard-pressed to find a reason to ping him there.
He never had possession, so no, you always get away with it.
Thump back towards the boundary line by Batty. Same result, another boundary throw in. Batty and Andriata. Batty gets the tap down. Goes into the defensive side of the stoppage. Strong tackle laid there by John O'Morris. This time we'll have a ball up, almost in an identical spot. 25-point lead to the Tigers. Free kick going the way of the Bears.
Shepherding.
Yeah, a bit of a push in the ruck contest. They've played a couple of those, the umpires. They've been consistent with it so far.
You notice that the MITCHAM has been forced to get more physical around the outskirts of the pack there, the stoppages, because they're really worried about how physical BASIN are to generate a stoppage.
Andrew Batty had Daniel Price at half-back, who sweeps past, collects the handball and sends a long ball inside forward 50. Jaden Brown's in there. Handball across by Searle from MITCHAM, though, finds Jared Whitnish. Long left. Julian Petrarca, that was, sorry. He sends a long left foot ball in the direction of Faulkner in a one-on-one against Luke Watson, and the fist of Watson sends that one flying out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
All the BASIN's forwards are playing up really high. They're about 40-45 metres from goal. There's no one deep, and I just think they're a bit shallow with their entries. Just not getting the ball in deep enough. Seems to be popping out really easily.
Ball back into play. Third man up there for MITCHAM was Whitnish. Looks like it's going to pay off. Free kick for too high. It's Faulkner. 27-minute mark of the first term. He looks for Pim in the pocket, who can't mark. Smith, some close checking.
So they really miss Finlay with that sort of, that deep option.
Yep.
It's really, you can see it's really hurting him so far.
I haven't seen Michael Carter won't have too much of a sniff of it either.
Nope.
We know how dangerous he is around goals. So ball in. Deep in the forward pocket here. Quick kick out of the pack. Bouncing in the goal square. Great defensive spoil coming through.
I think they'll set up a lot different the next quarter, I would think, the BASIN. I think they'll get Coltrera and Cardamone, maybe even Keane, go really small in the forward half.
Rush behind to the Tigers. Margin out to 26 points. 5-4-34 plays 1-2-8. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 28 minutes gone in the first term.
So Price, you just want to hold things up here. He's happy to take Pimmy on. Does so now, swings around on the right boot. It was an okay kick too, looking for Morris, who takes a strong mark on the second bite. That was good. Just outside the defensive arc now for the Bears.
Great
Spotted
kick.
up a great kick in the middle of the ground where the big man Batty takes it. Has a little bit of time too, and a little bit of space if he can spot up a target up towards the half-forward line. Just bangs it on his boot, looking for Kruger. He tried to use the one hand. He was dispossessed of the football. Diving on it there was Glossop. Pius said play on.
It's gone. Oh, no.
Eventually scoots out, and now we'll have a bounce.
Umpire was setting up.
Yeah, Batty, great mark from in the middle. Got the ball from Morris. No one going past for the handball.
Yeah, it
Very
needs to be.
stagnant. Got to be really quick.
Because the defence get back, don't
He was
they?
looking. He was looking. He would have given it. Just didn't have that run from behind.
Well, Higginson went up unattended in the end. It came out towards the Cripps direction, though. Handball away, and over she goes. Looking for
Over
Luke
the shoulder
Watson.
free.
Well, Watson will receive the free kick right in front of the grandstand here out at East Beld Reserve. It is packed to the rafters. Big kick now by Cripps, inside forward 50, looking for Batty. Purcell got the spoil over the top. That was good play. Still a hot football across the half-back line, taken by Kruger on the right boot, and he spotted up a target, but it's a free kick to MITCHAM, to David Searle, across the half-back line.
Searle at half-back in the shadows of quarter time. He's got Julian Petrarca in the middle. Finds him. Handballs to Whitnish, whose left foot kick inside 50. He was right on the siren. So no score. It was a massive kick from Jared Whitnish. And that's quarter time here at East Burwood Reserve. 5-4-34 the Tigers. The BASIN 1-2-8. The goal kickers for MITCHAM, Pim, Searle, Hogle, Faulkner and Winterton with singles, and just Jaden Brown with the one goal from the Bears. Back to AKR in the Radio Eastern studios, and we'll be back with all the action from the second quarter after this, right here on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent, you don't need to clear the cobwebs to find the information you need. It's all there for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play. Or find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to efl.org.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss the agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at efl.org.au.
Hey man, yeah, it's crunch time. Is that for your speak? No man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch. Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream. Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour. So this is footy speak then. I'm just saying man, the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy. Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Program sponsor.
Love it local and keep your radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL media team bring you all the EFL Gameday action, thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to the Huddle with Paul Semertzidis, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to East Burwood Reserve. It's a 26-point lead to the Tigers at quarter time. But Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose-Tap, all the stats there, the Basin more than held their own. They probably just struggled to go inside 50 in the end at the end of the day, I suppose.
Yeah, they certainly did. If you look at the stat sheet, you'd be surprised by the scoreline because the Basin led the clearances 19-11. They were winning the contested ball 40-29 and uncontested possessions 38-17. They had 6 more kicks and the handball count was 38-12 for the quarter, so they really dominated that aspect of the game. MITCHAM, though, they did have 16 inside 50s to 11, with the Basin taking the only 3 marks inside 50 for that quarter. The tackling numbers were extremely high. MITCHAM with 26 effective tackles, the Basin with 21. So certainly that pressure was important for MITCHAM to stay in the contest, given they weren't getting the ball to hand first.
Guys like Danny Price were awesome across half-back there, Dino, but it looked like once the ball got to within 25-30 metres of goal, almost every time it manufactured a scoring shot for the Tigers, they just weren't good enough deep.
Yeah, like I said, 3/4 of the way through that quarter, I think they were just setting up a little bit too far up. I don't know whether that's a directive from the coach or not, but the Basin's half forwards and all their full forward line were all sort of bunched up about 45 metres out, and they're winning the stoppages quite clearly. They were getting the ball on the outside, and their players weren't kicking the ball with any depth because they were kicking it to that group, which was still 40 metres out.
Do you think that was a directive from Pickles against the breeze not to get caught too deep, that maybe just backfired on them?
Oh, look, maybe. I'm not too sure, but it was quite clear that's what they were doing. So I'm not sure whether that was by design or they just didn't want to get too far back because it was pretty breezy out there. I'm not.
And how do blokes like Mills and Cardamone and Coltrera get into the game a bit more? Because
I thought Mills was pretty good. Cardamone and Coltrera, well, you know, they haven't got a lot of the footy, but they've got to be deep forward for mine. Yep. You know, when you coach against those guys and they rock up in their forward line and they're pretty deep. Yeah, it spells trouble for them. Yeah, you do.
If they're on the wing and half back, you relax a bit more.
Happy days. They're still, you know, quality players, but I prefer them closer to goal. And if they can get 7 or 8 kicks between them in the next quarter, they might kick 2 or 3 goals.
Gav, we'll have more of an idea of where this one sits at half-time after the Basin have their crack
Boundary,
with
boys.
the breeze. Just before I get your answer, let's cross down Boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare to Ray Baird.
Got Carl Barker, assistant coach at Mitcham, boys. Carl, a great start, but still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it was a good start. Centre clearances in the end were a bit of a problem for us, so we've got to work on them, but the start was fantastic, but anything can happen in this quarter.
Just not get sucked in either. That's one of the big issues that Neil was on about.
Yeah, the boys are holding their temper real well, and I reckon get in first for the ball and we'll win the game.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks to Ray Baird and Carl Barker there. Gav, how do you see the second quarter? Do you think the Basin will be able to use the wind effectively like Mitcham just did?
I think they can, because they've got the small forwards who can be first on the ball in the forward 50, but you can already see Mitcham's trying to crowd there to defence, but I don't think they defend it as smartly. They need a sweeper, deeper, and yeah, I see Mitcham, they'll work it a little bit differently this quarter.
And thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci was over at the Basin huddle. What was the directive from Pickles Glasgow, Andy?
Yeah, it was a real emphasis on ball handling. They were just fumbling, and they just said, use your footy smart, keep composed, keep that one-touch footy going. That's what they really emphasised on, one touch, breaking the lines, and just backing their fitness in. They're really confident boys of reeling this deficit in.
Michael Cardamone starting on the bench in the second term for the Basin.
Jack Purcell's the 7th defender. That's what you need. I don't think Basin had him deep enough, because you need the play in front of you because the ball goes a lot further.
And Pym and Smith are lone figures in the goal square at the Burwood Highway end of the ground here.
Boundary.
There's been a yellow card given Andy Paolacci thanks to LifeCare.
Yeah, number 11, Craig Christie, reported for striking, shown the yellow card. It's massive news in this game. Craig Christie will not take place in the first 20 minutes of this quarter.
Well, did that happen
at the siren it did. He started a bit of a fisticuffs at the siren.
Fisticuffs.
So there we go, our LifeCare boundary riders all
trying to be polite.
Boundary.
Ray Baird, thanks to LifeCare again.
Yeah, Neil Winterton, look, the main issue was not to get sucked in, and what he wanted to do, he only wants Pimmy in the 50-metre arc this quarter, and he said, just keep going, boys, hard at it.
Not a bad directive against the breeze. Let's get going in the second term. Higginson takes a ride on Batty, gets the tap down, but Batty gets the first disposal. Handballs forward. That went to Brown. Now the kick inside 50 for the Bears. Jaden Brown over the back. Almost gets it on the second bite. Max Kruger's in there burying his head, trying to get it up with the football. Kick around the corner towards the goal square. Just gone out of bounds on the full, so free kick to the Tigers. But the Basin have definitely started the better in the first 30 seconds of this second term. First couple of disposals out of the middle. It's the long kick. It's going to be tough to get the ball out of the defensive 50 at that end, especially if you keep it hard up against the boundary line like that. And Aaron Brown helps the ball over the boundary line for a throw in, almost bang on where the 50-metre line dissects the boundary.
Basin better be smarter. Centre the ball always when you've got the wind here, because take the risk. They're not going to be able to move the ball forward quickly, Mitcham. Take the risk, centre it, give yourself more open goal.
Yeah, the Tigers kicking into the teeth of the breeze, trying to get rid of the football. Morris tries to run away with that, brought down by almost 3 Tigers there, in a triple team. And the umpire's giving him a free kick for too high. So between 3 of them, they mucked that up. Jono Morris is going to have a free kick, hard up against the boundary line. It will help his right foot though. See how he goes. Jono Morris to draw first blood. It's going to be a real tough kick from there. Looks like it's just gone across the face.
Holding.
Free kick to the Tigers. Scav.
Yeah, it was just in the Mitcham defender was just being held as he was about to punch it through anyway.
Johnson. Up towards half back. Batty couldn't take the mark despite getting hands to the ball. And to barge his way through there was Searle. Left the footy behind, but it's picked up by Winterton. His left foot kick around the corner, bouncing ball on the wing. They almost worked that well, the Tigers, but helped out of bounds by Michael Thompson, who just gets a left mid on it, almost volleyball style, and punches it out into the deep throng of supporters here at East Burwood Reserve. They're about 47 deep in the grandstand this afternoon. As you'd expect on grand final day, Higginson had the front position in that contest, brought the ball down, clearing kick by Cross, picked up by Robbie Petrarca, who just drops the ball. Free kick the Bears. Danny Price will take that. He's got Chicken Price on in the middle, who'll go in that direction. Garrity around the back, doesn't call for the handball. So right in the middle of one of two centre circles here, just kicks it into the space, looking for Cardamone. No mark taken. Ball drops. Tackle laid by the Tigers defenders, and we'll have another stoppage 45 metres out.
The tackler did well there. He dropped his knees, hoping to get the high tackle, but the umpire and the tackler weren't full there.
Trevor Mills in the forward pocket for the Bears in an interesting move. Whitnish gets the handball to Cross, who's dumped again by Price, this time of the chicken variety, aka Matthew. Wastes no time. Smart kick on the lead. Great footy by the Bears. That's gone to their skipper, Trevor Mills, who takes a diving mark down low. And he'll have a set shot on goal 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Try and cut the margin back to 20 points.
Funny enough, I thought he should have had the shot because took a risk there, but it was a brilliant pass. Never got more than 2 feet off the ground.
Two great tackles in a row by the Price boys.
Fantastic tackles.
Ended up with this shot on goal from the skipper, always to the left. 1-3-9 the Bears, 4-34 the Tigers. 25 points the margin here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 4 minutes in the second term.
Takes a while to get your alignment going with kicking for goal sometimes, especially if you're not a noted goal kicker. You just got to put it to the left of the post and let it do, but you know, when they aim so far left, it's never going to come back.
Daniel Johnson goes short. Rob Petrarca made space, takes it, still inside the arc, so he'll kick it out towards a Higginson direction. He had one bite of it. Petrarca and Winterton see it over the boundary line and out of bounds. In front of our LifeCare boundary riders. Hyder bring the ball back in. Batty, Higginson got the knockdown. Bolter away, he just charged at the football. He's got great courage and he's brought to ground in a strong Josh Adams tackle. So a ball up about 80 metres out from the Basin goal line. Little handball over the top there by Brown, was stolen by great play there by Braden Cross, who just found some space in the end. It was a bit of a scissor kick inside forward 50, but it might work out okay for them. Here's Hogel, swings around of the Jaden variety. Oh, it was clever play. The umpire said it was touch, and they'll have a shot on goal, and they missed it again. This time the shot by Joshy Bell pushed to the left-hand side there. Really struggling to kick goals at the Burwood Highway end of the ground. Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 6-minute mark of this second term. And, well, it is Mitcham still 5-5-35 and the Basin are 1-3-9.
It's almost like it's a reverse vacuum.
It was almost harder not to kick the goal in that 4-0 forward, and somehow the Tigers managed to make a meal of it. Which means the Bears have the footy again. Daniel Price obviously has himself in his own Supercoach team as he chooses to kick to himself again. Pumps one long from the kick-in, was looking for Batty. He sends the ball to the front of the pack. Overrunning it there was Matt Price before Petrarca of the Robbie variety helps it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
When Stephen Pym mans the mark, you take him on.
Yep, certainly. Price is a good footballer. Both of them are, in fact. Higginson tries to rove his own ball, but ran past it. Picked up by Batty, whose handball's chopped off. Left foot kick, inside forward 50 from Halstead Wild. Pym from 4 deep, couldn't quite take the mark. Garrity on hands and knees, tries to find Cripps out wide. Can't find him. Plenty of bloodies around that ball. And we'll have a ball up rather, in the forward pocket, about 20 metres out for the Tigers. Thought Pym had marked that. You go up in the ruck here against Batty. The ladder gets the tap down. Price, left foot kick. In a bit of a paddock there is Michael Thompson. The bounce is important. He's got Bell hot on his hammer. It sits up for him. Goes in board by hand to Kruger. He's got some space himself. He'll send a long one inside forward 50, looking for Jaden Brown. Over the top of his head. Barging his way through was Cripps Lachlan. Punches that out of bounds for a boundary throw in. So you can see how quickly the ball moves from end to end on this ground. All of a sudden, it's in the opposite forward pocket.
Yeah, it was pretty ordinary by Mitcham's forwards. They just let the ball out far too easy.
Secondary stoppage.
I like what Mitcham did in the first quarter. Get high half forwards, get the hand pass receive high in the ground so you can run it and inject yourself into the forward 50. When you've got a congested forward line, it's a bit of a raffle who's going to get the next kick.
Handball towards the goals. The Basin in a dangerous position here. Cardamone just waited for it, which allowed Johnson to pick the ball up and try and barge his way through. The Basin players wanted holding the ball. The umpire says, I'll have it.
I reckon it suits Mitcham to have 6-on-6 in the defence.
Yep.
Clogs up the space.
Andriata taps it straight to Kruger, who has a flying shot on the left boot. Just to the left.
Free kick.
Free kick. The umpire's plucked out a free kick. It's going the way of Kruger. So the kick won't count, and he'll have an uncontested shot on goal.
Was that high?
Yeah, it was high.
Hard up against the boundary line, but about 10, 15 metres out. So certainly very kickable by this young man's standards. Maxi Kruger, one of the superstar midfielders in this Basin lineup. He's going to have a shot on goal again to cut the margin back to 20 points. You feel they need to be within a kick at half-time. With the breeze, the Bears, can they kick the first goal of the second term? They can't. Miss to the left again, so 1-4-10 the score goes to Mitcham, 5-5-35, back to 25 points. 9 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Mitcham taking a little while. A chip kick goes up. Big fly over the back there by Adams. Spilled out towards the Morris direction. Cripps got the handball back to Morris, but the boundary line beats all players and we'll have a boundary throw in.
It's a big old fat side of the ground now. They've all pushed over to the right side of the ground.
25 points the margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Here's a go for the Basin. What can Thompson do? Well, he tried to go for the inside-out banana kick, but he kicked it straight across the goal face and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, it's old Jason Dunstall, straight in the body and kick it straight, wouldn't you?
You'd think so.
Make it harder than you need to sometimes.
Tried to lay the banana across the body.
Yeah.
Inside 57-2 this quarter. In front, the Basin in front, thanks to Schuster.
Johnson kicks it out of that danger zone. Batty almost pulled it down. The umpire said it was play on with the spoil kick up towards the Faulkner direction. It did a little bit of a wrong and he'll eventually trap it and see it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Most true centre wing position here. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern. It's streaming live around the globe, EFL.org.au. It's Division 3 Grand Final day today and the Tigers have the lead. Kruger, little handball. It was okay, but strong tackle there by David Surley. Goes so hard at the football. And we'll have a bounce, and we think we might actually have a blood rule as well.
Kruger now up to 5 clearances from his 8 disposals today.
A few changes coming in. Cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare. Ray Baird, who's coming off?
It's Andy here. It's actually John O'Morris again. That knee has just revealed itself again and is bleeding, so the Band-Aid didn't stick.
Gotta stop using those home brand ones as it comes out now.
Aren't they your former shop?
Macon, handball out, Boltraweight. Oh, there's a free kick to the Basin here, so they'll get a chance through Jones. I think no, it'll go to Mills, the skipper. Telling players to hold up because he wants to go direct and he goes inside forward 50, a big fly over the back.
He's looked dangerous, Jaden Brown. Every time he goes near the footy, he attacks it in the air. Hasn't eventuated for him in too many shots on goal, but he probably looks the most dangerous forward on the ground.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
Batty had the front spot, little knock over, that was good play. Came out Holstein wild, trapped it, Boltraweight now for Mitcham, little handball on. He was looking for Winterton, but that was stolen. Came out to Kruger, backwards to go forwards for the Basin. They need to just square things up here as the kick goes inside forward 50. It was a skew if one off the boot. Still in that pocket, picked up there by Holstein Wild. A strong tackle by Michael Cardamone. We'll see a ball up.
They won't mind it down there, Mitcham.
No, Basin have got to go sideways. It look to their side to open it up. The matrix is well formed. Don't go forward until you've got the position pass ready.
Nicely done there by Holstein Wild. Got it away to Glossop, banged it on his boot. Boltraweight couldn't quite pull the mark down. Ogle came in for support. Boltraweight dives on the football. He might get pinged here.
He really was playing for the free kick, rolling around, holding his head. Once you do that and the umpire decides it's not going your way, it's definitely going against you.
It's a fair size head too.
I'd like them to go in the corridor, but they're just going to dump it again into the pocket.
And have a competition with Jack Purcell as it comes out. Winterton kept the ball alive. Cardamone copped one for his troubles. He'll receive the free kick. Now he's inside the arc, and you'd expect Michael to have a shot from here.
The Basin centre back might as well go to the middle of the ground, be the option, transition it, switch it around, work their way through.
With the breeze all quarter, they've gone inside 50 on this opposite broadcast side once.
Just open it up, give themselves a chance to find a man in the open. Dumping it, they're not good. Mitcham's just got it all over them at the moment.
He's the king of dropping his legs, Cardamone, isn't he? Getting the free kick. He's very clever.
So a big kick coming up for the Basin. There's been 14 minutes gone in this second term. That's a good-looking kick. That's a strong kick. It was a tough one too from the boundary line. Michael Cardamone kicks his first goal of the afternoon. The Basin, I should say, have 2 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and they are 2-4-16. Mitcham 5-5-35.
Will that be the one that gets them going, Gav? Because you think with the breeze, they need to be level pegging at half-time, and then have to be only 3 or 4 goals behind going into the last change to be a realistic chance.
Just shows possession is not what makes a difference. It's just got to be a bit smarter. Dean, how do you think they should be going forward? Because it just looks like they're just trying to push forward and manufacture something out of luck.
Their spot kicks back inboard, like you said before. That's the key for them. They can't just keep... The ball can't come out of their forward line and go back in the same way. It's
going back inside 50 again, courtesy of a left foot kick from Aaron Brown. Big defensive fist. Finds Bolterwaite though, who sends his side inside forward 50 now. The half-back line of the Bears under some pressure, picked up by Whitnish. Tries to release a teammate into some space. Can't quite do that. Clint Jones is in there, as is Luke Watson, laying some pressure. Centre half forward for the Tigers. We'll have a ball up. Wow Jones up in the ruck against Higginson. Jones grabs the ball off the bounce, sells a bit of candy, and then releases Lachlan Cripps into a bit of space, who drops one to half forward. Strong mark taken by Brown, who's about 70 metres out from goal. Wastes no time. He's got a teammate in a one-on-one inside 50. Keane, he's nipping around at their heels. Comes in and lays the tackle on, I think that was Hogle. He's found himself in the back line. No, it was Brad Jenkinson.
Lucky not to be pinged there.
No, certainly. Jackson Keane, always dangerous in that position. So there's the ball up near the goal square. Josh Adams trying to find his way through. Handball out towards the boundary line. Goes out of bounds for a throw-in next to the behind post.
If Cross was playing for the Basin, they need an overlap runner, don't they, the Basin, just to get the ball moving with run. You can't kick it all the time.
We're in a very, very dangerous spot, though. Macon, he'll throw one on the left boot. He'll kick a goal. Nice. They've got 2 quick ones. They've gone to 3-4-22. All of a sudden, the margin's back to 13 points. The Bears right back in it. They've gone about 13, 14 minutes here in the second term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
They love a stop play, don't they?
Oh, they're the best at it. Almost to the point where you have to almost rove to Batty. Just go one-on-one. You can't afford the Basin to roll up from their half forwards to roll up and around the back of the stoppage.
It's crosstown boundary side, thanks to LifeCare. Andy.
Yeah, Christie's completed his 20 minutes, so he'll be back on anytime soon. And John O'Morris, it actually was the other knee that he cut, so he's now symmetrical, wearing knee bandages on both legs.
Getting some knee pads.
Higginson, it was a good knockdown. Brown couldn't quite trap it. The clearance will come to Bayswater, maybe. Petrarca got it away. Bolterwaite, and now Winterton on the right boot. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Hogle comes out in front and takes it of the Jaden variety.
That's 25.
He wants to move it on. He does so now. Here's Jules Petrarca. He just kicks it to the hot spot. The win holding up nicely, fisted away there by Cripps. Comes out to the direction there of Cripps as well, of the Lachlan variety this time. Kicks it up towards the wing position where Adams takes it, and he takes off too. Now the Bears have a big chance. What a sensational run down there by Cross, and he wins the football. Holding the ball is the decision. That was a great chase.
Inspiring stuff that from Braden Cross.
Just shows the Basin are slightly deficient in running the ball.
Whitney screaming for it in the middle of the ground. Cross elects to go for the longer option. Andrietta couldn't take the mark. Nicely done there by Brown. Backwards. And they'll link up well along the boundary line here, the Basin, as that kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Couldn't quite pull it down. There was Brown. He was almost held without the football. Coltrera comes in. He'll swing around on the left boot. Chips it inside forward 50. And it was a good one too. And the mark has been taken by Michael Thompson.
It's taken him 15 minutes, but I reckon they've worked out a game plan.
Does that show just how smart Angie Coltrera is? He hasn't really done much, but real quick and real smart there. Just knew where to kick the ball. They need to get the hands of the footy into the hands of him.
Oh, for sure, especially forward of the centre.
Currently the margin is 13 points, and now the margin will be 12 points. 3-5 plays by 5 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 18 minutes gone into the second term. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap, the stats that matter.
Inside 50s, 12-4 the Basin's way, and the contested possessions, they're leading 27-15, so they're doing most things right.
As the short kick in, finds Robbie Petrarca.
They've got to score, Mitcham. You know, they haven't kicked a goal this quarter, and it's 20 minutes in. You know, that they'll finish up in the last quarter down that end, and you don't want to go carrying demons in the last quarter.
Strong kick to Julian Petrarca on the lead, so the Petrarca boys working together. He's at half back. Pim's worked his way up to the wing. He'll have a fly for that, as will Searle. No mark taken by either of those players, and Aaron Brown lays a strong tackle.
They're conceding too much from the stoppages. It means that you need a real deep inside 50 to the Burwood Highway end, so the stoppages are killing them this quarter, that they can't gain ground from the
They barely
stoppages.
even got it inside 50. There's the tap from Higginson into the space out towards the boundary line. Jules Petrarca works hard to try and keep it to himself. Danny Price almost cleans up one of our, I think, an Eastern Football League photographer, maybe a local newspaper photographer.
So like what
a
they
bloke
did,
with an expensive camera nonetheless.
Mitcham need to play on if they get a chance just to run it in.
Shallow throw in taken by Jones, who's tackled before he's able to get a handball away. So that's a free kick for holding the ball. Mark Watson. Just pumps it long. No Pimmy, he's off the ground. Two Bears fly up. Whitnish is the only one that stayed down. Oh, just to the right-hand side, Jared Whitnish. Casting the role of a rover. Big tall midfielder. Might even have been Higginson.
Yeah, it was.
It was. That's why he was so tall. It was the ruckman.
So Daniel Price to bring the ball back in for the Bears. It's out to the half-back line, trickles away from Lachlan Cripps, and over she goes. 60 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. They haven't kicked a goal in this term. Basin have scored 2. And they'd love another, but then who wouldn't? Mitcham want one as well. Great tackle there by Mills. Wasn't rewarded. Came out towards the Christie direction. Little handball backwards to Kruger, and now they link up along the wing position. The Bears inside and in and under kick was chopped off. Kick goes inside 450, looking for Hogle. Couldn't quite pull the mark down. That was okay. It's up there by Brown. Inside 50, they're trying to go. They just blazed away there, and Purcell takes the mark.
It's been good this quarter, Aaron Brown. Basin.
So Jack, a bit of a helicopter punt style kick, goes out towards the Mills direction. Got a little knock on, but it was stolen now. Here's Price. Arches the back, little handball over the top. This might sit up there for Cripps. Couldn't quite trap the football. Coming in nicely over the top there was Watson. A cool head, Andreetta. Well, he got dispossessed of the football. He could almost be pinged here. He goes after it again. The umpire said he got rid of it fairly, and we'll have about 60 metres out from the Bears' goals.
They hand pass forward a lot, don't they, the Basin? They never look behind themselves. They always try to get it going forward by hand or foot.
Higginson, the easiest of knockdowns in the end, but he needed a little bit of support. He's going to get it now through Braden Cross.
Good tackle, Max Kruger.
Going nowhere when Maxi Kruger's on your hammer. Right on the paint here, 50 metres out from goal, down the Basin's end. Which will be looking to steal it away, but goes goalward. It was touched off the boot, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
He's a hard nut, Mills, isn't he?
Love him.
He goes to put the tackle on. Very, very rarely someone will get through.
Pye to bring the ball back in.
I reckon Mitcham have done well to hold on because they've conceded all ground this quarter.
Ball try. Handball away. Kick goes out, and under pressure once again. Out of bounds on the full. So Adams on the right boot. It was a good kick. He wasted no time either, did Josh Adams.
He's going to... No, hang on. Waiting for the umpire to tell him whether he's taking it off him.
Well, Aaron Jones was the man who marked it, and he tried very hard to give it away.
Theatrical fall, though. It was probably wouldn't have pushed him over if he brushed past him, but when you're in the footy ground, you go down real easy.
Thumping kick on him too, so not beyond him this one.
Left post, just guided home.
So Aaron Jones yet to trouble the scorers this afternoon, pushes it to the right-hand side, and we've got another minor score on
Boundary.
the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare to Andy.
You can just imagine the type of constructive criticism that was coming the way of Aaron Jones as he was coming in for goal there. Quite amusing.
Margin back to an even 12 points. We've gone 22.5 minutes in the second term. The Basin have had all the running in this second quarter. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Long kick into half back. Daniel Price gets the fist in, then receives the handball. He'll send a long right foot kick towards goal and kick that way right, out of bounds on the full, next to the right hand behind post. But the Tigers, they've still got plenty of work to do to get this footy out of their defensive 50. You've seen it's been almost impossible to play from that end of the ground to this one up here, closer to us at the highway end of the ground against the breeze. Oops. Swing it out wide, looking for Bell. Speedy Gonzalez is Josh Bell. Gets away from Trevor Mills. He's got a paddock now, takes a bounce, goes inboard, was looking for Boltraweight.
Now look at the slingshot.
Yep, kick finds Christie though. There's the turnover for the Bears. Pump it inside forward 50. Batty from the back on the second bite. Couldn't take it. Purcell thought it was his. Picked up by Cardamone. Goes back to Keane. He's in a bit of space here, Jackson Keane. He should put this one through. Bang. And he does! The Bears back within a goal right before half-time. Exciting stuff, Jackson Keane. Well done, the Basin. Turnover from Joshy Bell has resulted in the worst possible outcome for Mitcham. 5-6-36 plays 4-6-30. 25 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare. Ray Baird.
Look, the Mitcham supporters, they're not at all happy because that mark wasn't paid, and to rub salt in the wound for the Basin to get a goal, they're not happy down here.
I don't think it was a mark, to be honest with you.
They had one each.
Batty came from the back, and most of the second
Looked like a mark from down here, boys.
Have you got your glasses on, Raymond?
Weren't you told to leave the area?
Ball in the middle. Kick forward this time by Mitcham. Might have been a little bit of holding on Hogle there, but Pim got the little handball away. And that's as quick a reply as you will see. And the goal's being kicked by Chris Hogle. That's his second goal of the afternoon. And Mitcham have 6, and that's a quick answer. Very impressive.
It'll be interesting how many centre clearances, because that's a brilliant goal from Mitcham.
2 goals of margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We have gone 25 minutes now in the second term of the Division 3 Grand Final.
Doesn't always have to be pretty, does it?
It just shows what pace of movement into the forward 50 does. The defenders are all hurried and panicky, and it allows the forwards to judge it better and get in good position.
Back in the middle, Higginson takes a ride, gets the tap down, I think as far as Boltraweight, wrapped up in a tackle by Morris and Christie. Disappointing one to give up for the Bears.
It's almost like rugby league going to the Burwood Highway end. You've got to run it and gain territory before you can score.
25.5 minutes gone. Ball yet to leave the centre.
Now Mitcham have got Purcell back, and now the Basin are pushing Cripps
boundary.
back. Cripps down there to make him accountable for the last 5 minutes.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to LifeCare. Ray Baird.
Neil Winterton spending the last 5 minutes of this quarter on the boundary, shouting instructions to his players.
Well, Petrarca grabs the ball from that stoppage. Long left foot ball inside 50. Pim uses the body well. He leads in the race for this ball. The boundary line comes into play and eventually beats everybody as 4 or 5 players all converge at the same time and fall over the boundary line. Sharon in hand. So we'll have a boundary throw in. You can see now those flags in that forward pocket. The wind's really started to pick up. 12-point lead to the Basin going into half time. They'll have the breeze in the third term. Mitcham rather could be important. Julian Petrarca just had the ball stripped from him. Has plucked out a free kick for a throw. It's going against Petrarca. It's going to Craig Christie. We've had an umpire-enforced rest for most of this second term. Short one, finds Batty at half back. Short again to Morris. He's got Macon further on by himself, who just doesn't quite run to the correct spot, Dean Macon. So it goes to Cardamone on a long lead at centre half forward. Handballs to Kruger. It goes to Danny Price. He's got Whitnish to get around. Can't do it, so has to handball all the way back to Mills. Under heaps of pressure, shrugs a tackle. Long kick inside 50. No mark taken, but Keane at ground level. Right foot kick towards goal was just to the wrong side, so margin back to 11 points 4 goals, 7 the Basin moved to, 6-6-42. The Tigers, 11 points, 27 minutes gone, 27 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter.
Like when the Basin tried to share it, for the first time they decided to open the ground and the options by sharing the hand passes around the middle. That's the way to get the open forward line, is to move it around the midfield before you see an opportunity.
Well, a big fly over the back there by Watson. Couldn't pull the mark down. David Searles in there. He's quickly wrapped up, and the Bears player screaming for holding the ball, but to no avail. We'll have a bounce 45 metres out from the Basin goal line.
You know, Kruger standing there by himself.
Batty with the back spot. Dredder will give that one to him. Soupy, good tackle there by Neil Winterton, and we'll have a bounce 45 metres out from goal. 28 minutes gone in the second term. 11 points is the margin. Keane whips around on the right boot. He got a little bit of a shove in the back, but...
Why didn't he hand pass into the corridor when a man's running past instead of trying to be the one and only?
Well, certainly low percentage, there's no doubt about that. As the kick goes up, nicely done over the back there. Johnson got the handball away to Winterton, who's been picked for holding the ball. So Joshy Adams, they're 2 kicks away from goal, the Bears. Kicks the ball inside forward 50 now. Comes out Keane, steps around the body. I tell you what, that was a close one, and through it goes for and behind. Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 29-minute mark of this second term, and we are down to a 10-point ball game. 42 plays 32.
Johnson with the kicking duties for the Tigers again. Goes low and flat to the broadcast flank. Great jukes coming in and meeting that ball there by Jack Purcell, former Doncaster Magpie. Gets up a little bit gingerly. It's a big boy, Jack Purcell. Takes his time. Can't be too long now before half time. Drives it long to the wing. Daniel Price ghosting in from the side, takes a grab in front of that pack.
Had a good half, hasn't he?
He's had a super half. Low flat ball, finds Chicken. Matthew Chicken Price. Goes around the corner, Nathan Buckley style kick. Low and flat to the pocket, and the mark's taken by Jackson Keane. Hard up against the boundary line. Wrong side for a right footer. If ever there was a place to stand up and kick a goal on grand final day, it's right there in front of all the Basin supporters who will be giving him words of encouragement. They'll tell the story here. There's the kick. It looks pretty good. Oh, they go up! And Jackson Keane turns around and gives him the double cobra. He's got 2 in the second term. The Basin are back to within a kick. Half an hour gone in the second term. 6-6-42, plays 5-8-38. Stand up and be counted, Jackson Keane. That was as good as it gets on grand final day.
Again, they make the most of the minor opportunity. They don't run the ball. They just kick forward. They don't go on angles. They just go straight down the line. They're very direct, but it's giving them shots at goal at least.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s, 22-8 in favour of the Basin.
Well, you can almost give a clearance to the Bears again here. Little handball out wide. Petrarca came in. Nice tackle there by Adams. Going in hard as the siren sounds to announce half-time out here at East Beld Reserve for the Division 3 Grand Final, and the score out here is at 4-point margin to the MITCHAM Football Club. They are 6-6-42. The Basin 5-8-38. The major goal kickers on the ground. 2 goals to Chris Ogle and also to Jackson Keane, who snagged a couple in that second term. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio East and streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. It's time to go back to the Radio Eastern studios with Aaron Kirkby Radio, and then we'll be back with what happened in the first half and what might happen in the second half.
The Pie Shed halftime show. Keep the dial locked right here on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tank. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of VFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Hey man. Yeah, man. Can you smell it? Smell what? It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season. Yeah, man. Like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G. Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour. They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate. Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate. Seriously decadent. Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours. High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families to make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Love it local and keep the radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Game Day kicks off at 1 every Saturday as an EFL media team bring you all the EFL Game Day action. Thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 to
final this afternoon in the AFL. It's Richmond up against North Melbourne. It's just ticked over to quarter time, and it's the Tigers 2-3-15 leading North Melbourne 1-6-12. Wasteful North Melbourne, they'll be kicking themselves at quarter time. Goal kickers for the Tigers, Newman and Delidio with one each. Jared Waite, the goal kicker for North Melbourne. And Dustin Martin has had on a string with 9 possessions. Are you out there, boys, for the show?
Yep, it's Gavin Casey here with Wayne Rusher and Grant Soupy Campbell, and we'll be, for the Pie Shed, giving a half-time wrap, and we'll start with the stats that matter for Tuesday. Grant, go through the stats, mate.
In the second quarter, the Basin, the clearances were pretty even. They only won that by 1, 14-13. They continued their domination, though, in the contested possessions, 43-30, and the outside, the uncontested possessions were 34-16. It's mainly the handball count, though. It's 71-28 at half-time in favour of the Basin, so certainly a lot of handballing going along. Mitcham preferring pretty much just to kick the ball immediately. Inside 50s in that second quarter, 22-8 in favour of the Basin, and the marks inside 50 for the match are 6-0 in favour of the Basin. So incredible stat for Mitcham. You think of all their firepower up forward, they haven't taken a mark inside 50 yet. They're still leading on the scoreboard. The forward 50 pressure of the Basin has been pretty good. They've laid 15 forward 50 tackles in the first half. Normally that's more than most teams take in a half. So from a Basin perspective, they're doing very well on the stat sheet, but perhaps just a bit of inefficiency and a bit lack of direction, as you've alluded to throughout the game so far, the reason that they are behind at half-time.
Yeah, so the half-time score is Mitcham 6-6-42, leading by only 4 points, as the Basin are 5 goals, 8-38. So it's a 4-point game. The hot favourites, Mitcham, are under a lot of pressure, but they, with the wind, they were able to outscore the Basin quarter by quarter. So Wayne Brasher, how do you see the game as it was and then how it could be going forward?
Okay, first 20 minutes of the first quarter was all Mitcham. They were able to run the ball out of the middle through Higginson and the two Petrarca boys, and they had targets down forward. But from about the 20, but after that, the Basin sort of started locking down on that half back line, and all of a sudden the tackling pressure that the Basin have been renowned for started to come into play. Blokes like Trevor Mills, the two Price boys, Max Kruger and the Cripps brothers once again were starting to really grind and start to create space for their forwards. Aaron Jones and the ruck and Andrew Batty started to take control. And then all of a sudden the forward line, Gav, started to open up a little bit. Probably a little bit wasteful early in that second quarter. But I tell you what, the signs are really good for the Basin. They're playing a lot more direct. Jackson Keen's looking looking really dangerous down there. Jaden Brown's provided a really good focal point for him in that forward line. But Mitcham look a bit flat-footed to me, Gav. They just don't look like they've got any run at the moment, and that's surprising considering the quality players that they've got in the lineup. The Basin have really stifled their run and really have sort of really really bottled up Mitcham's run out of the back line. They just can't get any continuity of play.
I think the weight of possession around the stoppages has turned into territorial advantage, and Mitcham are under the pump, and I think it took 15 minutes before the Basin worked out, well, if we're going to dominate possession, we've got to work out how we're going to turn a score.
You're right, and I think the other thing too, Gavin, is that the Basin decided, instead of playing the scoreboard side flank, they decided they'd come on the the other attacking side of the ground, and it immediately paid benefits for them, because then they were opening up the fat side, and then a lot of their runners were starting to run onto the ball a lot further. Their half forward line was starting to find their mojo. Andy Coltrera was starting to find the ball. Probably just a little bit of their delivery just going to their main key forwards has just been a little bit lacking, but it's not from a lack of intent. Mitcham backline are really standing up well at the moment, but look, they're going to have to post. They need to kick 4 or 5 goals in this quarter, because the Basin are really running on top of the ground.
Yeah, the Basin know what their strengths are, and I think they like to manufacture forward momentum and shots at goal from stoppages, and they just get it in the forward line and rework a shot at goal from there. It doesn't seem like they've got a hit-up target or a tall marking option. So if we can get it in the forward line, hold it in, we'll do what we do best, win a stoppage, get a shot at goal.
Yeah, and he's important, a really important player. That's, the captain, Trevor Mills, has been outstanding in the midfield, right? He's run, especially off the stoppage, from the back of the stoppage, is really causing Mitcham problems. He's creating opportunities downfield. John O'Morris has done a fair job in the midfield. He's sort of, just picking up the resting centre player coming back for Mitcham. I reckon, really good matchup. Matty Smith is doing a good job on Stephen Pym. That Stephen hasn't had any opportunity to lead, very much like Dean Limback. There's no space for him to lead into, to take the mark, so he's been forced to go onto a one-on-one. Matty Smith has got the points there so far. The Hogels are struggling to get into the game. They're flashing in and out, but it's that midfield. The Petrarcas are probably breaking even with the Basin, but they're not hurting the Basin in the way that the Basin midfield is looking more dangerous.
I think we'll see a different Mitcham. They know how to attack. They know when they get the ascendancy going forward. They know how to convert. But in the second term, I just believe that Winterton would have been happy 6 on 6. He would have been laughing at the congestion he was creating in defence and holding the Basin up. But then the Basin stopped. They lowered their eyes, looked a bit left, looked a bit right, instead of just bombing, and then finally it came together. And then Neil Winterton had to shake it up a bit. He had to think about, well, we are under the pump. Maybe we need to get our running game going to stop us from defending for 30 minutes. You can't defend for 30 minutes.
No.
So that's where Mitcham, they love attacking for 30 minutes. I reckon they'll think they'll have to win it this quarter. They'll have to get the score on the board, because, if you're going to try to defend for 30 minutes, you'd want to have a good lead under your belt.
Well, the thing is, if the Basin come out and hold them for even you know, 5 to 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes of scoring that Mitcham haven't got, right? And with the average quarters going between 27 and 28 minutes, you're going to need, as every minute ticks by in this third quarter, that Mitcham, go goalless. I mean, it's just going to make it that little bit harder. The Basin will get more and more confident. Basin's crummers around the forward line too. It's really worrying. Mitcham look a bit top heavy down there, Gav. Keane is really starting to, cut the lines, and he's really starting to. He's tackling hard, and he's been rewarded. A couple of great goals from him has really lifted the side in this quarter.
You think Mitcham prefer to zone off and work it from the back line, give it to some pace and runners. But the thing is what they do in the forward line. They did in the first term. They had Pim, goal square, 2 high half forwards, plenty of space. It worked beautifully for them. I just wonder if Basin can look back at that quarter and think, how do we block them? Where do we set up a wall? Because Mitcham were able to run, and they'll have a shot from 55 metres. They will have a go at goals when they get a sniff of it. So they'll try to keep it open. What do the Basin need to do to stop Mitcham scoring and establishing a 5-goal lead?
Well, the thing is, if Mitcham go like that, as we probably expect them to do in the third quarter, it'll basically be up to the midfield and the half-back line of the Basin to try and shut down those runners and just make sure that it's a one-on-one between the two defensive players. Because if Mitcham are allowed to run on the ball, we all know what they're capable of doing, because that's how the Hogels like to do it. Yeah. They like running onto the football, and the back line, the the two Cripps brothers are really good, not only in defence, but they're also very good at creating that loose man coming back on the turnover, coming up the field as well. And that's the other thing that Mitcham have to work. Their half-forward line still has to work just as hard to make sure that the Basin half-back line don't create any more space up the ground for their side going against the wind.
Yeah, Mitcham love to have the wave going forward, get behind the ball, and then once they go forward, they get there en masse, and they create a score that way. Again, the Basin, they like to stop the play, start again. How many clearances? The stats were set at the start of this pie shed that clearances from the stoppage is how they could get a score against the wind this quarter. And it's an interestingly poised game. Let's just, before we go back for our final break, how do you see it panning out, maybe as a prediction, because we've talked about how it might happen?
Well, look, I said at the start, the way Mitcham are playing, I said that they should win by 7 goals, but now I might have to reassess that, Gav, because at times they look flat-footed, and that was because the Basin have put them under a huge amount of pressure, and if the Basin can maintain this intensity, especially in this third quarter, and maybe only go down 2 or 3 goals, they're right in the box seat here.
Yeah, there's 2 points about the Basin being stronger pound for pound, is that they might not have the running legs, but they might just batter Mitcham out of having a running game.
That's right. You're dead right there. Anything could happen. Grand finals are not often won by the most brilliant side. It's the side that works the hardest on the day. And we all know, that Mitcham have the stars and all the runners. But the Basin, look, I've seen them this year. When they're up and running, I've seen them play. When they start moving the ball, as I know what I've seen, I tell you what, they're capable of matching it with Mitcham.
Yeah, so AKR in the studio, get ready to, we'll cross back to you, have a quick break before the boys, BWS and Paul Semertzidis, get back into the calling duties. We're about a minute away, so if you want to have one quick break before we come back to the third quarter. It's 6-6, Mitcham 6-6-42, leading the Basin 5-8-38. We're just about to get underway here at East Burwood for the third quarter, but one more break on Radio Eastern 98.1.
Hey man, can you smell it? Smell what? It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season. Yeah man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G. Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour. They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate. Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent. Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Jenny's family and friends turned up in their 60s gear. They wore paisley shirts and ties, peace chains and love beads, danced to Janis Joplin, The Who, Creedence. It was like being at Woodstock. It was exactly how Jenny wanted her send-off to be.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, there are no rules. Our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So if you'd like to relive the past a little, Tobin Brothers Funerals will help you do it. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a Breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a Breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Just in time too as the umpire holds the ball aloft to get the second half underway. It's a 4-point lead to the Tigers from Mitcham. The Bears from Basin did all the running in that second term. Dean Burnell, you've already seen some interesting positional changes. Mouthful of lollies.
Yeah, I'm here just for the lollies, but yeah, no, the Basin have dropped one behind the footy straight away, and I would do exactly the same thing. We really need to hold Mitcham up this quarter.
They certainly can. If they're able to pinch a goal, that will be absolutely vital to this game going into the last quarter.
I reckon there's only one goal to that end possible, because you rarely get the opportunity to get it deep.
As it stands, the ball hasn't gone too far so far in the second half. Aaron Brown overruns that ball. First real possession comes from the Bears. It's gone out on the full. It came from the boot of Batty. It's gone out of bounds on the full. Just backward of centre on the outer side. Free kick to be taken by Robbie Petrarca, the big bulldog from the Mitcham Football Club. One of my favourite players.
Don't mention the Bulldogs, mate.
He's got a big thumping right foot kick on him, Robbie Petrarca. It's chopped off there by Clint Jones.
Yeah, the best side, the Basin, and just chipping the footy around into the wind. So there'll be an absolutely no rush this quarter.
Short kick from Jones finds Adams, who takes a little bit of a risk with the ball inboard. Doesn't come off, so Jared Whitnish mops up. Doesn't waste any time with his long ball inside 50. Looking for Pym, who's bustled out of position, so he wasn't able to take the mark. Handball going forward now. Right foot kick from Faulkner towards goal. That's important. There's the first one in the second half. It's gone the way of Mitcham. It didn't take too long. All of about a minute and a half. The Mitcham supporters are cock a hoot.
Yeah, if they continue to whistle into the mic, I'll get really upset.
Second goal on the board for Anthony Faulkner. Margin back out to 8 points.
I find it really interesting that Mills has started at full forward this quarter, and I'm not too sure why. He's one of their best clearance players, hardest player, and he's sitting deep in the forward pocket, so I'm not sure why.
It obviously gets to the point they really want to steal a goal. I reckon they probably fancy their chances of they can win this game, but
well, how long do they give it?
Well, they've got Coltrera up on the wing. I'd be swapping them over.
They've already conceded one. I think they'll give it maybe one more goal or 5 to 10 more minutes before they really start to, you know, save face, because any goals given up in junk time in this last quarter will just be horrible.
And I want to get the Choose Tap stats for possessions on the lollies in the commentary box here, because Dyson Baker again, number one possession getter.
Yeah, still a far way off career best numbers though. I've seen him rack up some big ones as Mitcham go inside forward. 50 again. Pym with the fly. Couldn't bring it down. Hogle of the Chris Variety. Bang towards goal. There's two quick ones. Jaden Hogle it was, rather. He's got his first on the board. Mitcham all of a sudden out to a 14-point buffer. Two quick goals to start the second half. The premiership quarter it's called. The Bears haven't had a sniff so far in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's the brilliant start. It's what Neil Winterton needed, because I reckon they want to establish a 5-goal lead. They've been under the pump for 30 minutes, but it doesn't take much. The energy levels, they love a goal, Mitcham. They love sprinting forward, so they'll have a fair crack at 30 minutes of scoring.
Back out to a 16-point lead, and they search forward again. Pym nearly got a free kick there for a little bit of holding up the play. The umpire said it was okay. Charging after it, Cripps, he got brought to ground in a strong tackle from Hogle. Stacks on the mill. The umpire will bounce it about 40 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. Might even be a free kick going the way of Luke Watson.
It was after the ball up was called, so a bit of howdy-do.
He's played the reserves all year, Watson, and really forced his way back in late in the year.
On the left boot, pops it up. Whitnish couldn't quite pull the football down. And once again, we'll have another stoppage.
Well, no.
No, the umpire said play on in the end, so a little quick kick out.
Could have balled that up 4 times. That was held in for so long.
Just bounced inside the paint, so it moved along to...
If you wait long enough, it will come out.
True centre wing position. Brings it back in now. Batty over the back. He'll go after it again. The big man gets a little handball away to the Kruger direction, who just charged into the pack and, well, put himself there to receive a free kick, and he got it. Smart play.
Well, he'd had 2 tacklers in, so one of them was bound to get him high.
Maxi Kruger. What a gun this guy is. Got a couple of short options if he wants. Oops. Risky business. Kicks it up towards the Batty direction. Higginson had the front spot, got a palm on it. That was okay. Keane got the handball away. Here's Price. Arch the back, got the little handball away. Johnson's in there for the Tigers. He tries to bustle his way through a pack. The umpire will come in and bounce it about 40 metres out from goal.
As soon as Price grabbed it, he goes, I want to be tackled high. And he tried his best to get tackled high.
It was well done by Andrew Batty in amongst 3 Tigers to make the contest and stop them from taking the mark.
Yeah, forced a stoppage very nicely there. Adams on the left boot, kicks it to the top of the goal square. What a strong mark that is by Jaden Brown. He pulls it down. Jeez, he's got good jukes, Dino.
Oh, he's been fantastic. I reckon he's taken 5-6 marks. It's been great.
How good was his judgment of the ball in the air there? Started next to his opponent, ended up 2-3 metres in front, just knew where that was dropping.
Yeah, well, it's going to hold up, so yeah, you got to get a metre ahead of the opponent, and you've got the advantage.
Well, I'm marking this one down. He won't miss from there.
Oh, don't.
Well, he's 25 metres out. He's directly in front. He comes in now, leans over the football, and he puts it straight over the goal umpire's head. That's his 2nd goal of the afternoon, and the Basin have 6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it moves them to 6 goals, 8-44. It's back to a 10-point ball game because Mitcham 8-6, 54.
Very, very important goal against the Breeze, and to get one back to 10 points. If they can keep it around that 5 to 15 point margin going into the last break, well, then it's all Mitcham's work to do in the last quarter to prevent the Bears from coming home with what is undoubtedly now a 3 to 4 goal Breeze. Higginson back in the middle of the ground, gets the tap down. Clearance is important. It's going to be a stoppage again.
The 3 ball ups this quarter. Higginson's just trying to hit the ball out into space. He's trying to get up over the top of Batty.
Coming up a bit gingerly there was Matt Price. Batty taps it over his shoulder, defensive side. Kick shark, tap shark though by the Mitcham player, and they're going inside 50 now. Handball out to Hogle, sells a bit of candy, left foot handball back in board. There's a right foot kick around the corner, but it's chopped off on the goal line by Smith. Handballs to Thompson. Kick up to the half-back flank. No mark taken. Tigers will mop up. Cross. Short one inside 50, just into the space. Running onto it and taking a strong mark down low is Anthony Faulkner. Already kicked 1 goal in this 3rd term. He's already got 2 for the afternoon. Become the first player on the ground to put through number 3 and extend the margin back out to 16 points. Smart use of the football by Cross going inside 50.
Yeah, absolutely. Great ball use. Just looked laterally and lowered his eyes.
Well, he didn't even probably see him. He just sensed that someone's going to make good of the put it in an area.
So here comes Anthony Faulkner, dead in front, 40 metres out. Kick is long, it's high. It's there, he's got 3. The Tigers have 9. The margin's back to 16 points. We've got 7 minutes, early days in this 3rd term. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 9-6-60 plays 6-8-44.
We'll just get Brucey to turn the sound effects down when they kick a goal, Mitcham. If they keep whistling, there'll be dogs coming from everywhere.
That was Mitcham's first mark inside 50 for the match, thanks to Choose Tap.
Back out to a 16-point margin. In the 3rd term, they call it the Premiership quarter. Can the Bears get the quick answer? Knockout goes out towards the cross direction. He trapped it well. He got rid of the football just in the nick of time, and Price was right on his hammer and seen over the boundary line and out of bounds. Far side of Eastfield Reserve.
Yeah, Higginson again up and over the top, hitting it out in the space.
They want, yeah.
It's quite clear what he's been instructed to do.
Yeah,
The Basin are so good in close. Just clear the stoppage.
Higginson. almost just took the football. Kruger, little handball out wide, got it away to Adams, who looped a handball back to the Kruger direction. The old 1-2 on the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. That was good play. Mark's been taken there by Brown, inside forward 50. Here he goes. He was looking there for Christie, going back with the flight of the football. He was felled upon and he'll have a shot. Well, it might be just beyond him here. He's going to kick from about 45 metres out, a difficult angle, but we've seen the ball hold up quite heavily in this breeze going towards this end.
Good game so far. Been impressed by the Basin's ability to keep running and moving the football forward against the breeze.
Craig Christie, he keeps it low, goes towards the direction of Jaden Brown, who just can't do a thing wrong at the moment. He takes it on the behind line, so he'll have one of the most difficult shots you could have. On the left boot, tricky Dicky, but no, through for one behind and back to a 15-point margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 11 minutes into the third term.
Got to make most of those opportunities, just come in board and hook it around, but he never really improved his angle.
It's exciting stuff, this grand final. Neither side giving an inch. Still playing attacking football. Big kick from Johnson out from full back. Cotrera in the front spot. Couldn't pull it down. Christie, who had the shot at goal a moment ago. Handball only as far as Julian Petrarca, who tries to release Watson. But Kruger, he's got other ideas. Gets it to Aaron Brown, whose handball's chopped off by Watson. To Neil Winterton, the skipper. Coming across with the double fister and punching it out of bounds is Jono Morris. Much to the dismay of a MITCHAM supporter in the crowd.
Which one?
The one that just... Do
you know them?
Yelled out a huge F-bomb into the effects, Mike. Cotrera running away from that. Sharp kick from him on the left boot. That's smart football. And 25 to Chicken Price. Umpires paid that. Josh Bell asking why, but he was far too late there. Umpires always going to get involved.
You don't, Josh Bell. He just loves a bit of contact.
Yep, certainly does.
And he asked, what are you talking about?
So Eastern Football League legend Matt Chicken Price, 3 competition best and fairest with the Coldstream Football Club. Now plying his trade at the Basin. Short kick to Cotrera. He's too smart not to be in and around the play, this bloke.
Yeah, they're just taking their time. They're in absolutely no rush.
Kicks in the direction of Jones. Has to go up with the one Duke. Couldn't bring it down. Keane, he's been dangerous at ground level today. That's no exception. Johnson wraps him up. Doesn't let him go, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle in the left forward pocket on the boundary side of East Belwood Reserve. Jones, Chicken Price running into an open goal, round the corner, he puts it through. Well done, Matt Price. Margin back to 9 points. Good ruck work there by Aaron Jones as well. He just fed it down his throat. The Bears will not go away. They've kicked 2 goals against the Breeze in this quarter. It's just as exciting as it gets here on Grand Final Day.
Another stoppage.
Yeah, another goal from a stoppage. They're just the kings at that.
The centre clearances are 4-1 in favour of MITCHAM, but the stoppages are 5-0 in favour of the Basin.
Where was the body check for someone like Price just to skirt around the pack and get forward of the ball?
Just carved his way through a couple of MITCHAM defenders like a hot knife through butter. Found the space. The finish was exceptional.
Whitnich gets the clearance now for MITCHAM. Can they get the quick answer? Drives the ball inside forward 50, bouncing football. It's there for Hogle. Can he get clever? Swings around on the left boot, you little beauty. He kicks his second goal. Well, if they wanted an answer, they got it, and it only took 20 seconds. Margin back out to 15 points.
Tops, 20 seconds tops. 2 goals on the board for Hogle. Second of this quarter. Real exciting stuff. I don't think we expected this at half-time for both sides to come out and go goal for goal. 15 points, back out to.
Fatigue will be a factor here because it's been physically, stoppages games always are physically taxing, and it will open up because of that.
And of course, MITCHAM, the recipients of a couple of weeks off in this final series. Andriata's in the ruck. He's going to go up against Jones. Andriata gets the tap down. The path of Whitness, who just tries to thump it forward. Only as far as Aaron Brown. Who dives on the ball. The MITCHAM players appeal for holding the ball. The umpire obliges. Free kicks going the way of the skipper, of the coach rather, Neil Winterton, who just pumps it inside, looking for Pym. He's got 2 to beat. He can't do that, but he's got to get it. He's given away the free kick at the front position, but just dragged down Smith. And Matty Smith, over the top. Looking for Adams, he couldn't take the mark. Coltrera just plays the percentages. Big kick off the ground, gains 40 metres for his side, and the Sharon trickles out of bounds right out in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which reads 10-6-66. Mitcham 7-9-51. The Basin, 15 points of margin. 14 minutes gone in the premiership quarter. Strong tackle there by Brown. Handball finds Winterton, who gives it straight back to Adams, who goes back. Now the kick up to half forward. Big high up and under. Who's going to mark that? Cardamone flies from 4 deep. Makes the ball come to ground. Keen's released with a handball. Goes up to Jaden Brown. Takes a mark just outside 50. Got Christie leading back. Cardamone's back there. Keen's run on. He'll take the mark in the pocket. Deep in the forward pocket. Jackson Keane. He kicked one from a similar spot on the opposite side of the ground. Bit tougher against the breeze. The wind will push this one away from the face of goals. Higginson is down there on the goal line. So is Christie for the Bears.
Not enough numbers for the Basin on the goal line.
Got to get Wow Jones or Batty down there as that kick from Keane always to the wrong side, out of bounds on the full. 15 points, the margin will remain.
One weakness for the defence of Mitcham is they're slow. They're very Keane just ran from where the ball was kicked and got open space. They're very one advantage for the Basin is their pace up forward compared to the defence of Mitcham. Brown always gets a metre on the lead as well.
Bolterate kicks it out to the defensive arc. Higginson almost took the mark. He's brought to ground. Strong tackle there by Mills. Umpire said, give it to me. We'll have a bounce 50 metres out from goal. It's down the Basin's end. 15 points is the margin to Mitcham. They have the breeze in this third term. Coltrera on the left boot just tries to square things up. Cameron Cripps was in the right spot. Takes a strong mark. He's just inside the centre square here. They might be 2 or 2.5 kicks away from goal here.
Coltrera standing by himself. He's been there for about 3 minutes. Hasn't had an opponent for the last 5 minutes. He's had 4 or 5 kicks.
Eventually gets it.
Nice and slow, no rush.
Weighing up the options, short passes on, looking for the Jones direction. Higginson just met the football and did a really good job of it too. Bolterway, good look away handball, found his skipper there in Whitnish on the left boot, drives it up towards the half forward line, but he didn't look where he kicked it because John O'Morris took the mark, and now the Bears might be able to create a switch here. Bouncing football, charging after it there was Clint Jones. He wants the safety of the boundary line. Lucas Marrow right on his hammer and over. She goes for a boundary throw in.
Mitcham have made a change, no Pim. They've obviously seen no influence from him from the goal square.
50 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. They lead by 15 points. Andreetta got it down. Here's Whitnish charging in over it. There was Kruger. Whitnish goes after it again. Kruger also with friends Pat Garrity. Have a bounce. 45 metres out from goal. Quick restart. There's a lot of players around this football. Andreetta got the knockdown. Came down to Petrarca. Got a little handball away. First play to meet it there, Lachlan Cripps for the Bears. Knocked it over towards John O'Morris, who got a little handle on it. And over it's seen by John O'Morris.
The Basin have rolled all their players into every stoppage. Every time the ball hits the ground, they roll into it. They're just playing pack footy. Very smart, really well coached.
To bring the ball back in. Third man up on the knockdown for the Bears. Whitnish. Goes after the football again. Here's Petrarca, needs to get rid of the football. Drayetta this way, that way, handball out wide. He was looking for the hyphen, Holstein wild, and over she goes for a boundary throw in.
Trying to make things happen, those big bodies of the Tigers, Andriata and Petrarca, then just trying to barge their way through. But the Basin more than up to the challenge. Their tackling pressure is more than sufficient.
Throws it in. Almost could have been a head-high tackle. Umpire said it was okay. 15 points is the margin, almost 20 minutes gone now in this third term, the premiership quarter.
Everyone in the one half of the ground.
40 minutes left in Division 3 football for season 2015. High throws it up. Quick kick, goes in towards about the 30-metre mark. Petrarca was there. Garrity copped one high.
It's experience.
Purcell knee just got in the way then, switched out towards John O'Morris, who has a bounce, and he might have a second one. Instead he elects to kick it long, and he goes towards the Brown direction, and why wouldn't you? He's had a super game. Warren was right on his hammer. Nicely done there. Holstein Wild kicks it up towards the direction of his coach there in Neil Winterton. Got a little toe poke on it, it was okay. Trapped there by Lachlan Cripps, and now the Bears have a few numbers along the wing position. Here's Macon on the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It was a floating kick. It was a terrible kick. Higginson was in position A. Got the handball over the top, and now the Tigers can have a bit of a crack. Here's Petrarca. He broke the tackle. He runs in the middle of the ground and then switched it out wide. That's an absolute cracker of a kick. Here's Watson. And Watson just slams it. Oh, no. He hit the post. You could see the crowd riding that one home, and I got behind it as well. But 1 point is the result. Margin out here at Eastfield Reserve reaches 16 points in favour of the Tigers.
At the top of the right stick, it was home for all money.
They were unlucky there, the Basin. Garrity just came off in a rotation and left his man, and the ball got rebounded and just almost cost him a goal.
Quick turnover. There's the long kick. Watson takes a strong grab. Mark Watson. That's marked with a C. Low ball to the forward pocket. Just getting in the way there was Mills. Whitnish claims the mark, was touched off the boot. Tackle late there by Matt Smith. He throws a tanty off. The umpire decides to ball it up instead of Payne holding the ball. Pym is doing the ruck work up forward for his side. He gets the tap down. Cripps of the Lachlan variety. He's dumped by Whitnish in another strong tackle. Just ticked into time on here in the third term. 16 points is the margin in favour of the Tigers. Finished on top of the Division 3 ladder. Well, the best side in the home and away season.
They'll need 2 more goals to go into three-quarter time. You just see how they just got flooded with territorial advantage to Basin. They need 5-goal lead.
I tend to agree with you there, Gav Casey. Batty and Pym. Batty gets the tap down. Cripps went without the footy. Mills is wrapped up by Pym and Chris Hogle. Haven't really seen any of those Mitcham star forwards get off the chain today. The Bears are away. Caltrera, who's been on his own all quarter. Kick around the corner, only as far as Higginson, who gets it to Johnson, who unloads with a barrel to the goal square, and Macon gets a timely fist in. Otherwise, Jack Purcell was going to take a chest mark in the goal square. Rush behind, margin out to 17 points, 10-8-68, plays 7-9-51, 21 minutes gone. Third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Daniel Price played it to himself, then kicked it towards the Batty direction. Watson was over the top, couldn't pull it down, but he created the spoil. Nicely done there by Watson. Tried to break the tackle, copped one high. So they'll take that, the Basin. Across the half-back line. Chance to surge forward now. Short passes on, that's okay. Lachlan Cripps. Got to play a further afield there in Thompson.
Looks about 10 years old, doesn't he, Lachlan Cripps?
Travelled the required distance just. On the right boot now. Sends it along the grandstand side. A big fly over the back there. Johnson almost pulled the mark down in the end. Ball hits the deck. Andrietta, good tackle on Mills, and we'll have a bounce.
Just didn't take the mark there, but you saw Jaden Brown come in from 3 or 4 deep. That man knows how to fly for a football.
Oh, he's a good kid.
Andrietta knocked it down. Watson back to Andrietta's handball was chopped off nicely there. Christie goes in after it. Got one arm pinged. Andrietta did really well. Cripps came charging through. He's brought to the deck by Jared Whitnish, and we'll have another bounce. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Match Stats.
Inside 50s this quarter, 13-7 in favour of Mitcham. The clearance is 10-9 in favour of the Basin.
Batty, well, it was as good as a kick in the end, but there was no one there, and a scrambly old kick from Mitcham up towards the half-forward lines, chopped off, and now the Bears...
oh, that's got to be a 3.
Yeah, it's
pushed when he's over the line into the
Watson
fence.
caught one from Hogle.
Dangerous, right near the fence. It's not what you want to see.
And they've lost their way, Mitcham. They're bombing away. They're panicking. They're just kicking down the line now. They've lost their direction. The pressure around the ball is immense.
Kick up towards the Brown direction. He was the man in the back of the pack.
On the full.
That
It's
might
gotta
actually be on the full.
Better position from up here, I reckon.
Free kick 7-1 this quarter in favour of the Basin.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap. Here the fans getting right into this one. Comes out now. Holds deep wild, good tackle. A lot of stoppages happening in the last couple of minutes. We'll have another bounce.
The free kicks would be from poor tackles from Mitcham. I don't fancy that they're used to tackling as much as they need to today.
Batty
there we go.
Got the knockdown. His Price on the left boot, that's going to go wide and out of bounds on the full. Just kicked it into the EFL Caravan.
They just had to pitch inside that one. A stoppage in that situation would have been a real win for the Basin.
Daniel Johnson, well, he unleashed a barrel then, but well, it was a low percentage kick. Daniel Price read the football nicely, takes the mark, kicks it in towards the middle of the ground, and that's a good kick too. And now they can take off through Josh Adams on the right boot. They've switched the play nicely here. The kick goes in towards the Keane direction. Couldn't quite take it. Nicely done there by out towards the wing position. Now they'll get another chance. Adams, good shoe it was. Thompson comes out and takes a mark, and he looks confident, but I think he just realised that he might be a little bit too far out. Instead, he wants to go to Andy Coltrera, who made some space, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal about 40 metres out. Favourable side for a left footer.
Marks inside 50 for the match now, 11-1 in favour of the Basin, thanks to Tuesday.
So you win that stat, you win most games of footy. That's 11 almost uncontested shots on goal. Kicking right into the teeth of the Breezer BWS. He's going to have to hit it flush.
Distance won't be a problem. 17 points is the margin. Can he reduce it? Back to 11. It's a good-looking kick off the boot, but he pushed it to the left-hand side and through for a minor score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. So we hit the 25-minute mark of this third term, and it is the Basin 7-10-52. They are trailing Mitcham 10-8-68, 16-point margin, Dino.
Yeah, John O'Morris has been playing behind the ball for the whole quarter, and he hasn't been manned up, and he's cutting it off almost. Here he comes now, but he's cut it off pretty much almost every time. In
the blink of an eye, Mitcham are at half forward. Cross has the ball. He's kicking it inside forward 50. Couldn't find a teammate. The Basin good enough to clear. Their half-back line is mopped up all day. Daniel Price, Adams, Morris, those guys have been sensational. But the Tigers, they're going to pump it back in again. Tackle late on Glossop. There's the kick from Petrarca. That'd be a timely goal. From 50 metres out, just kicked it to the right-hand side. One behind. They get that point back. Margin back to 17.
I reckon the first signs of the battle of attrition starting to hit their effect. There's a lot of tired players chasing for the open ball. It's becoming very laborious.
Price just kicked to himself again. He finds Cripps with a low flat ball to half back.
Hard work.
Yes, I understand.
Just plays the percentages, Lockie Cripps. Drops one down the line, looking for Batty, who stands tall on the wing. Gets the hands up, takes a ripper. Jaden Brown leading back with the flight. He's got the space over the back. Kick doesn't quite get there. Cast in the roller of over. Handball to Thompson. He'll run into an open goal. Margin back to 11. Exciting football by the Bears.
That could be the game.
10-9-69, plays 8-10-58. That's a big-time goal from the Basin. Great footy from all involved.
I don't think Mitcham have got a lead that they can defend. And they got caught on the back.
Crosstown boundary side, thanks to LifeCare. Perhaps not.
Test your microphone. It's like Sale of the Century. Can you test your buzzer down on the boundary?
Let's go shopping, Nicky. Ball back in the middle of the ground.
Batty's been fantastic, hasn't he?
Absolutely fantastic. Ball back in there. He didn't win at that time. Andre had got it, but the Basin got the clearing kick towards the Keane direction. It was knocked away from him. Do they get another chance here? Joshy Bell came charging after the football, couldn't quite trap it. Almost gave away a free kick. Johnson, little snap around the body. That was okay. Kick out towards the half-back line. A great spoil there by Brown. An even better tackle there by Whitnish. The umpire said play on. He's Bolterweight. He's got a little bit of space on the wing. He arched the back. He thumps the ball up towards the Pym direction. He's got the back
Great
spot.
mark.
Just going back and with a lot of courage pulling down a ripper was Cameron Cripps.
Hasn't got near it, has he?
Their half-back line, the Basin, has been immense. Cripps makes up part of that group.
So Cripps just pops it up in the end. Tigers have the numbers. Johnson at the back of the pack. He wants to get rid of the football. He's nicely wrapped up. That's a good tackle there, Craig Christie.
Just that willingness to push back. You push back hard, help your defence.
I'd love to kick another one here. The Tigers. Here's Whitnish on the left boot. He thumps it every bit of 50 metres and he kicks it inside the arc and getting back. And then Cameron Cripps has had a pretty good game today. Short passes on, that's good.
$1.30 favourites now, the Basin to win this.
Lachlan Cripps takes it on the chest.
Nothing
Thumps
like
it out
going the early
towards a big
crow.
position.
No, I'm just saying what the
Warren
bookmakers would tell you.
Got the spoil. Bell came from nowhere and just trapped it. Nicely wrapped up there by Michael Thompson as the siren sounds for three-quarter time.
Yes, that's it. The premiership quarter is over. The Mitcham Football Club got out to a 16-point lead. They threw everything they had at the Bears, who were good enough to put through 3 goals of their own against the Breeze. 10-9-69, plays 8-10-58. Major goal kickers on the ground. Anthony Faulkner has 3. Jaden and Chris Hogle have 2 apiece. And for the Bears, Jackson Keane and Jaden Brown have 2. 11 points of margin in three-quarter time. Keep the dial locked right here on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League. Last quarter coming up after this.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use Eastlink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning, 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Oh, Barry, he was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through the speakers, so at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue, and Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Love it local and keep the radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Game Day kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL media team bring you all the EFL Game Day action. Thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Semertzidis, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au. EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
To the boys shortly. They obviously can't hear us at the moment.
Yep, sorry, Az, I'm here. We're up and running. Just had a few issues here, all Dean Burnell related, of course, but we're ready to get the last quarter underway. Just about 11 points of margin, 10-9-69 plays, 8-10-58. Dino, you reckon the Basin look good from here, but they haven't hit the front yet, and they're chasing that horse. Always a dangerous task.
Yeah, absolutely. You're stealing my lines. It's 2 of them I've just given you, chasing the horse, and they haven't been in front. But look, they've played fantastic. They've really dominated the game. But you look up at the scoreboard, and there's still a couple behind. But yeah, sometimes when you keep chasing that horse, it's really hard to get. So if they can get in front, then they're going to be really hard to stop. But leaving leaving John O'Morris behind the ball for that whole quarter. Could come back to haunt Mitcham, but, you know, having said that, I don't think they've played their best, and being involved in a team that hasn't played their best and still win, we'll see how good they really are, Mitcham.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I think they can still hang on, and, you know, I'm not disrespecting BASIN in any way, shape or form, but like I said, they've still got to get in front. BASIN seem to have the momentum, but until they hit the front.
Oh, I think if we take out that first quarter, honestly, even with the first quarter, I think the BASIN have had the run of the play. The way they went inside 50 against the Breeze early on let them down a little bit. But since then, I think for 80% of the day, they've been the better side. It's just
boundary.
Mitcham going inside 50 have been much more polished. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci.
Got the coach of the BASIN, Michael Glassborough here. Michael, great third quarter. The defensive pressure in and under. You're fantastic.
Yeah, we gave ourselves a chance to win the game, mate. So we're 30 minutes away. We're good enough. We'll take it. If not, you know, they're a pretty good side. So we're giving ourselves every chance. That's the main thing.
And the message to the boys in the last quarter?
Oh, we've got to keep taking the game on. We've got to keep attacking. If we get enough opportunities, we've got to make sure we take them.
Good luck.
Andy Paolacci there and Michael Pickles, Glassborough. Either of these sides have hit the nail on the head there. 30 minutes away from eternal glory. 30 minutes away from a finish to the Division 3 2015 Eastern Football League season. 11-point lead to the Mitcham Football Club. Well, they've been the best team all year, and it all comes to the top now. It's not going to mean anything if they let the Bears run over the top of them. Ray Baird was down at their huddle, and we'll cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare to have a chat to him. What was the message from the Mitcham boys at three-quarter time, Raymond?
Well, the supporters were very vocal, but...
as always.
Yeah, what Neil Winterton said was, look, we've got to win the clearances, boys. That's where they beat us in that last quarter. They said that we've got half an hour to play. He said 1 quarter for a premiership for Richmond. We've worked our backsides off all year, and this is it, boys. So when only go down the corridor when it's 100% certain.
It's going to be tough work. Thank you, Raymond. It's going to be tough work against the Breeze for the Tigers in the last quarter.
It's good to see Richmond playing at East Burwood, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure Raymond met Mitcham, but you got Pim at full forward. Standing next to Matty Smith, who's done a great job on him all day. We've seen 2 goals each to Jaden and Chris Hogle, but I dare say that's pretty much all they've done, both of those two. They need to get off the chain. Pim needs to get off the chain. These stars from Mitcham up forward need to get the job done. The guys in the midfield are doing it. At the BASIN, they've had 22 contributors across the ground here this afternoon.
So the BASIN are rolling with Coltrera, Keane, Cardamone inside their forward 50. That's the move for me.
And that's another one. Michael Cardamone hasn't done a lot today either, but he could seriously get off the train, capable of kicking 2 or 3 quick goals. There's the umpire holding the ball aloft and getting it started again. Bit of a non-event. We'll have another stoppage. Batty gets the tap down. Mills held without the football. He'll take the free kick against Jared Whitnish. Trevor Mills, the skipper from the BASIN. Right foot kick inside 50. Plenty of players leading. No mark taken there. Over the back. Open goal, Coltrera.
Handball.
In his swan song, it would have been a great way to start the last quarter for Andy Coltrera. It's just gone to the wrong side. Minus score.
The goalkeeper had left. There was an open goal. The man next to him.
What's he doing kicking on his right foot? Us lefties stick together.
Johnson unleashed a couple of barrels. Don't know what he's gone with there. A finger-breaking mongrel-style reverse drop punt that's somehow found the chest of David Searle. No idea how. Certainly where it wasn't he was aiming it. Here it comes from Searle. Long kick to the wing. Batty's in position A. He'll take it. He's got a couple of options short. Probably too wide though, so he just drops one down the line. A bit more central this kick. Coltrera in from the side. Keane from the boundary. He's already kicked one from there. That one's gone across the face. Good result will be a boundary throw in, but Jaden Brown keeps it in. Handballs to himself like Kevin Bartlett. Underground ball looking for Cardamone. Glossop chops it off. Kicks out to Petrarca of the Robbie variety. Now the Tigers are away. Jaden Hogle comes out to meet that on the bounce. Gets around Watson. Handballs forward to Cross. Cross is going to have a shot on goal. He doesn't. He handballs wide to Chris Hogle. Dream start for the Tigers in the last quarter. He loves it. Chris Hogle take a bow. Number 3 for him. Tigers draw first blood in the last quarter. Margin back to 16.
Pancake Parlour play of the day so far in this game. What a sensational goal that was by Chris Hogle from the boundary line, coast to coast, Dino.
Oh, fantastic. Gee whiz. Right in front of the crowd there. They went up, not as much as you, Seymour. You were up and about. Good to see.
It's cost down boundary side thanks to LifeCare, the old man of the Eastern Football League, Ray Band.
Yeah, the MITCHAM supporters have really come to life, boys, and that stretch of play, coast to coast, it doesn't get better than that.
A shot from Keane that dribbled across goal, and then about 5 seconds later, Chris Hogan was putting one through. She's a fickle mistress this game.
Well, they're going to get the clearance again. Here's Whitnish, little handball over the top. They've got the numbers. The Tigers, they go inside ball. But here's Pimmy! Comes out. He's been screaming for it all afternoon. He kicked a cracker in the first term, and he'd love to slot one through in this final term. So Steve Pimmy will kick from about 40 to 45 metres out. Distance will not be a problem.
Would he celebrate much if this went through?
It might be a little bit reserved.
Right post.
He comes in now, Steve Pym, and he shanks it right off the side of the boot. Didn't even make the distance in the end. And
he tried to guide that.
Lachlan Cripps takes the mark. He gets it out wide. Here's Garrity. Stopped, propped. It was a risky kick. It was a silly kick, and now they might get another chance here. Touched on the line, no mark by Matty Price, who got there in just the nick of time. So he'll kick from the last line of defence. Matty Price asking for teammates to head out to the far side of East Beld Reserve. Higginson knocked it straight down the throat there of Robbie Petrarca, who just sold a little bit of candy, and he kicks it into the goal square. It was a bullet-like pass. Marrow couldn't quite trap it. Here's Price again, seen over the boundary line and out of bounds. 20 metres out from the MITCHAM goal line.
Just that burst out of the blocks, the Tigers. The first 5 minutes of this last quarter, they've been immense.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Inside 50s, 3-2 in favour of MITCHAM, so they're starting this quarter well.
Batty over the top there of Pym. Put a hand on the shoulder. Umpire said it was okay. Price got it away to Mills. Got the handball away just in the nick of time. He was looking for Garrity, but it was stolen there by Hogle of the Chris variety. He pops it up. It's coming back, but through for one behind.
Now, that would have been goal of the day.
Absolutely no doubt about that, Gav.
Daniel Price kicking in for the Bears, finds Lockie Cripps at half back, plays on, he's got Marrow breathing down his neck, just gets the kick away, he's looking for Cardamone, bounce goes the right way for Michael Cardamone, but he falls over and the ball goes over the boundary line with him. Right out in front of the Basin bench, 16 points of margin, 17 points of margin after that point to Hogle rather. Third Division Grand Final for the ages. That was a poor throw-in from the boundary umpire.
Only run ruckman there, though.
Yeah, Higginson taps it straight down the throat of a teammate who gets a left foot kick forward. Off hands, out of bounds again, this time in front of the MITCHAM bench.
Spoke about all those guys at the Basin that got over 30, and it's been a pretty hot day, so... Yeah.
They're not getting to...
What are you saying?
Oh, it's a grand final. They're going to be taxed.
Absolutely, they will. Higginson finds front spot in that ruck contest again. Bell on hands and knees, gets a kick away on the ground, and it's come off. Lucas Marrow takes a mark 55 metres out. Looking for Pym, kick was no good, but how's the bounce? It's got to bounce towards goal, just swatted through by Matt Smith for a rush behind. That could be a handy point, 18 points, 3 straight goals of margin here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 5.5 minutes gone in the final term.
Matt Price for one is one that's a bit...
Oh, he's been terrific though.
He's looking a bit more, he's trying to be the general, but he doesn't have as much more juice in the legs though.
All of a sudden the Bears are looking as lethargic as the Tigers were late in that third term. The Vuvuzelas are going off here at East Bearwood Reserve. The crowd are absolutely loving this game. Long kick out to half back. Morris could have been paid the mark. Umpire says no. We'll have a ball up instead. Drayton Cross.
They got spoiled by 2 teammates.
That's probably why it wasn't paid. Batty and Higginson. Batty at the front, taps it to the space. Could have been dangerous because Petrarca was the first one there and Cross was just behind him. They're both beaten by the line.
It's probably not the smartest tap to get it wide of the stoppage because that's not where Basin win their clearances from. They get it real tight and then they work it.
See how they go here. Batty again. Kruger overruns it. Kick inside 50 from Halstead Wild. First one there is Chris Hogle. He's got Cripps hot on his hammer. He does well. Ball eludes him. Picked up by Hogle. Tries to get around Garrity. Can't quite do that. Handball intercepted. Halstead Wild forms his way through, and Faulkner on the outside of the right boot. Just gone the wrong way, and Pitty in the right spot at the right time. Takes a mark. Hard up against the boundary line, right next to the behind post.
Token look inside.
Tough kick. Pretending he's going to pass it. There's no way you're going to do that, Pimmy. Don't kid yourself. Looks like he's going to try and screw this around on the left boot. Geez, it'll be a good kick, and
It's almost
he go
impossible
off?
angle.
He's going the banana. No, he's going to go the left foot snap. He's missed to the right-hand side, so margin out to 19 points. Mitcham peppering the goals early stages here, final term. 11-12-78, plays 8-11-59.
The wind would push it across the face and towards the infield, so it's a really hard kick. But yeah, the Mitcham have got all the running. It's what they hadn't done for 3 quarters, really.
So Cripps, the Lachlan variety. Good kick too. Hit Adams, who hit Price on the right boot in towards the middle of the ground. That was a good kick too over the top there. And the strong mark there taken by Thompson, who kicked a good goal. A good running goal in the 3rd term. Waste no time either, and he thumps at every bit of 60 metres right into the hot spot. The back of the pack there, Glossop, this way, that way, got boot to ball just in time, and he got held upon afterwards, so it'll be a downfield free kick, you would have thought. Holstein Wild.
There's a real waste there. They kicked the ball really long to Cardamone 2-on-1, really high.
So, play goes on. Mitcham, the kick goes up towards the Whitnish direction. He just waited for it beautifully, takes the mark. He's had a good game, Whitnish. On the left boot goes to Marrow, who's really stood up, especially in this second half. Takes the mark, he's 60 metres out from goal. And why wouldn't you go towards the Pemmy direction? Over the top of his head, nicely done there by Smith. He was looking for the safety of the boundary line, eventually seen over by Chris Hogle, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
He covers the ground well, Winters, doesn't he?
Big rangy-looking midfielder as well, long left foot kick. Very pleasing on the eye when he's up and running.
Well, Pim just shanked it out of the pack of the stoppage, and the kick was smothered, so it hits the deck and will have a bounce.
I reckon that was going through. It was lucky that for Basin that they got in the way of it.
Pye throws it up, just bustling his way through there was Hogle. Kick didn't go far enough. Whitnish on the left boot, just poked at it. Well, he just got it knocked at the last moment, which forced it to go through to the left-hand side, and will be a 20-point margin to the Mitcham Football Club in the final term as we cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare. Andy.
Yeah, the wind's really died down here, boys. I think this one's going to favour Mitcham in the final quarter.
Oh.
Short passes on, Cameron Cripps. Eventually see it over, right in front of us here in the broadcast position.
So that is the one advantage of having a lead and kicking. You always, if you win the toss, kick with the win, because you've got a lead, at least a lead to defend.
Exactly right.
And fatigue has come into this game big time.
Aaron Jones in the ruck, gets it forward for the Bears, run onto by Kruger after Bell got dealt with. Ball just eludes Kruger in the bounce. Lee Warren jumps on top of it, and they jump on top of him. We'll have a bounce centre wing, broadcast side of East Bellwood Reserve. Like that from the umpire, wastes absolutely no time. Tap from Jones, goes no further. And I think that's Petrarca at the bottom of that. No, Joshy Bell it is, the former Donvale Magpie. Higginson tries to form his way through, can't quite do that. Brown wrapped up in a strong 2-man tackle. Umpire says, I'll have it again. Ball hasn't moved too far, still bank smack on centre wing. Boundary side, East Bellwood Reserve. And all the running this quarter, Mitcham haven't been able to extend their margin by any more than about 10 points here. Kruger, he's in a little bit of space. He's just got to pick it up. He does. Sends it a left foot ball inside 50. Brown slipped over at the crucial time. Defending, rebounding kick here from the Tigers. Robbie Petrarca's in a bit of space. The boundary line beats him, and it goes out of bounds. The opposite side of the ground, the outer side on the half-forward flank, the left half-forward flank for the Basin.
You just see Mitcham love an open game. When it gets into open space, they've got energy, they've got the sprint in their legs, and it's only now that it's started to get open for them.
Whitnish comes over the top of Jones in that ruck contest. Bolterweight to Petrarca. They're off and running here, the Tigers. He's got a panic, does Petrarca. Kicks in the direction of Pim! He gets there, the bald one himself, Stevie Pim at full stretch.
Pass it.
The kick's a ripper. He's got to go back and put this one through.
Cross on his own.
He's got to pass it.
Turns around,
Dropped
finds Cross. He hasn't taken the mark, or has he? He has. The umpire's paid it.
He's closer than us, and that hit the ground.
He's just probably about 2 metres closer than what Pimmy was in the end, so not in a greater position.
I reckon it's still 2 metres too far. It'll go to the line, this one. This will be touch and go.
Brayton Cross.
This is massive.
34-year premiership drought for Mitcham becomes closer
what a
after
great
this
hit.
kick from Braden Cross.
It's gone over the fence.
Cometh the moment, cometh the man.
It has dropped off, hasn't it?
He's had a good day, Braden Cross, and he tops it off right there. Margin out to 26 now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 12-13-85. Plays 8-11-59. Ray Baird's boundary side thanks to LifeCare.
Mitcham faithful going absolutely berserk down here, boys. But they've waited a long time for it, and I tell you what, their side's up and running at the moment.
And they're winning the contested possessions this quarter 18-9 after losing them in each of the first 3 quarters. They're also leading the clearances 6-3 thanks to Choose-Town.
Back in the middle. Can the Basin conjure something? But Mitcham have all the running at the moment as the kick goes up towards the half-forward line, a bouncing football, and it'll trickle over as she goes right in front of the Mitcham brethren.
Feels very similar to last year's grand final. You know, very tight early. Templestowe had all the running. They played very similar to the Basin, and now it's opened up a little bit, and Mitcham are away.
Wyatt throws it in. Here's the coach, Winterton. Trickled it inside forward 50. Strong tackle there by Luke Watson. He'll force the stoppage and will have a bounce. 40 metres out from goal. To restart it. Grayetta knocked it down straight into the arms there of Morris, who got dispossessed of the football. Batty came in too hard, and he's given away a free kick, the big man.
Copped it, Morris.
He's had such a strong game, and then Mark Watson will go back and have a shot on goal. There's a player down off the field.
It's Morris.
Yeah, he caught one in the ribs. It's pretty heavy.
Oh, good boys. Getting a bit chirpy. It's unlike them.
So Mark Watson. He'll kick from 50 metres. We know that the wind has died down, so he'd fancy himself being able to get the required distance here. Mark Watson comes in now, kicks hard at the football, but pushes it to the left-hand side, and through she goes for a minor score.
He's good carry on that footy.
Well, everything's gone out the window in terms of kicking into the breeze. If they're kicking at 50 metres now, it's not the same game.
27 points the margin, Seymour.
Price, long down the guts. That's what they've got to do. Lands on a good length outside the off stump. Well gathered there by Thompson. Handball's out wide. Is chopped off by Johnson, though. Short kick to half forward. Petrarca has got Whitnish in the pocket, in amongst 3 Bears.
Nice.
And Jared Whitnish, the Mitcham skipper, is absolutely crunched as that ball is spoiled and eventually locked up for a ball up in the forward pocket. Geez, he'll be feeling that, Jared Whitnish.
We're going to have a stop of play because of this.
Genuine hospital ball from Robbie Petrarca. And sit underneath that one, skipper. And they came from everywhere, the Bears defenders, and split the poor bloke in half. Footy continues, though. Pym uses the body in the ruck contest. Smith tries to duck his way out of trouble.
Oh, he was lucky there. When you put your hands around the tackler and then go into a tackle, you're almost holding the ball.
Umpire decides that he'll have that one. Whitnish is back up and running again, so good to see not too much damage done from that contest. Price overruns the football, but eventually gets the handball from Christie. Bouncing ball to half forward. Keane can't keep it in. Right out in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which reads 12-14, 86 Mitcham, the Basin 8-11-59. 15 minutes gone here in the final term.
Not liking those $1.30 odds.
No, absolutely not. Petrarca, long kick towards Pym, who just sticks at the Duke. Then the Sharon gets stuck in his mid. Great work from Pimmy. He has been exceptionally well held by Matt Smith all day, but late in this grand final, he just gets the kick to the right spot, uses the body well, and Smith, unfortunately, has to watch his direct opponent take a strong mark, and they cop a mouthful from the Hogle boys just for good measure. Here comes Stevie Pym. He's kicked one today. It was early days. Watch him celebrate if this one goes through. Stevie Pym, the Mitcham star. The 34-year drought, the longest current drought in the Eastern Football League, is all but over here at East Burwood Reserve. The margin is at the 33 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It's so long that Pym was just born the last time they won a premiership. At 34, the grand campaigner who's been hanging around just to get this premiership.
He looks 40.
He plays footy
Kicks
like a 21-year-old. Full of energy, full of exuberance. Very exciting stuff.
And the crowd favourite to boot as well as the umpire throws the ball up. Andreetta had a little bit of a fresh air shot. Can he go after it again, the big man? He does. Nicely wrapped up Trevor Mills. Strong tackle in the guts. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Marks inside 50 this final quarter, 6-0 in favour of Mitcham after being 11-1 behind at three-quarter time.
Great stuff, Soupy. Christie, little handball out. Batty, handball out wide, stolen by Petrarca on the right boot, inside forward 50, the ball bounces away, it went away from Cripps that time. Now it's anyone's football, Hogle goes in after it. Well, not even looking at the football, there was Watson, he could have given away a free kick, then the umpire said it was okay, he'll charge after it again. In there was Cripps for support, Hogle, kick was half smothered, the umpire wants to
Holding the man.
bring things back.
It's going the way of the Bears, Luke Watson.
He picks himself up. It's really only one way to go, and that's direct, but switches the ball out wide.
They're just buggered, I reckon. They don't have enough energy to get it forward.
Winterton, handball across to Rob Petrarca. Can he bring the house down, Robbie? They go charging into Division 2. The Mitcham Football Club. That is absolutely sensational. And that is the Westfield Knox goal. And we're going to give that one to Robbie Petrarca from the Mitcham Football Club. He kicks his first goal of the afternoon. And what a bit of play. What a final term by the Mitcham Football Club.
Oh, they've been brilliant. They're just that, you know, we said it earlier on when Higginson started hitting the ball on the outside, they started getting out and they were away.
Those fresh legs from having a couple of weeks off in the final series really coming to the fore here. Just shows how important that week off and then the win the first week of the finals in his top 5 system really is.
Even the goal umpire was dancing after that. He was running backwards, doing a moonwalk.
It's 39-point margin, not indicative of the way this game has been played. The Basin have certainly been much, much better than that scoreboard suggests. Doesn't matter come grand final day. Mitcham skipper, Whitnish, is held on to as he tries to kick that ball out of mid-air. Couldn't quite make contact with it. Faulkner comes rushing in from the 50-metre arc, meets Max Kruger in a tackle, and we'll have a stoppage.
Who's the best midfielder in the last quarter? Mitcham.
I think it have to be Whitnish or Petrarca. But there's Trevor Mills in that stoppage. Pumps the ball inside 50. Mark taken by Purcell. Defensively, Jack Purcell.
Different game when you win the round the stoppages.
He and Josh Bell come across from the Donvale Magpies the start of last season. They're going to play in a senior premiership with the Mitcham Football Club. Purcell's kick is short into the back pocket. That's Warren. He drives it long down the line. Josh Bell flies, couldn't take the mark. Chicken Price to Cardamone, who's been well held this afternoon. Handball chopped off by Johnson. Goes long to the wing. Faulkner taps it onto Bell. Outside of the right boot towards the boundary line. Petrarca, he'll keep this in. Left foot kick inside 50. Pym in a one-on-one with Smith. Smith gets to the front and takes a fantastic mark. One-on-one against Steve Pym. Well done, Matty Smith. Certainly taking the points in that battle today for mine. Short one to Luke Watson. Plays on into the guts. Taken by Thompson. Ignores Kruger with a handball running past. Goes out wide towards the benches. Was looking for Price. Found Daniel Price, who handballs to Matt Price. Low ball chopped off by Purcell again. Another mark from an opposition kick from Jack Purcell. Thumps it back to this big pack of players, and there's Mitcham jumpers absolutely everywhere. Petrarca, the Julian variety, handballs to Whitnish, who goes forward to Baltrawaite. Right foot kick to the square. Hogle's got 2 to beat, and he takes a hanger! Chris Hogle, 5 metres out, as good as directly in front. There's some icing on the cake.
Pancake Parlour play of the day without a shadow of a doubt. What an absolute ripper by Chris Hogle.
Just saw it happening. It was the meat in the sandwich there amongst the 2 Basin defenders. This is to kick his 4th goal and to blow the margin out to 45 points. Very careful kick. He's kicked the goal. He shows his Mitcham jumper to the faithful. Picks up his brother Jaden, and Baltrawaite comes in for a cuddle as well. So does Pimmy. It smiles all round for Mitcham. 15-14, 104, plays 8-11, 59, 22 minutes gone. Party time for the Tigers. Where's G-Mac?
this is the score you would have predicted at the start of the game, but not at three-quarter time. To be honest, you'd have to think that the Basin were on top, but the momentum switch and getting the ball out of the middle, big time, Mitcham have stood up when they needed to.
Clearance is 11-6 in Mitcham's favour this final quarter, and I reckon that goal put the icing on the pancake for Mitcham.
45 points is the margin. Julian Petrarca tried to get boot to ball. A little handball by Price. It was smothered. Batty tried to release a handball out wide. That was good play. Here's Christie, who's been really serviceable today. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. It goes deep. He was looking for Cardamone, who's been so well held. Warren goes after it. Tried to keep the ball alive. He did a good job. Purcell snaps around the body. Couldn't keep the ball in, and over she goes out of bounds on the full. Ray Baird, thanks to LifeCare.
In answer to your question, Seymour, G-Mac's about 2 paces away from me down here, but he's still got a worried look on his face.
Give him the microphone.
Yeah.
Ball comes in. Aaron Brown.
Seymour? What? What do you want me to say?
You better, Paul.
Short passes on. Cardamone takes the mark.
We're going all right.
Happy man down boundary side. And Cardamone, who's kicked 1 goal this afternoon. Terrible segue, Seymour.
I didn't
Comes
think he
in
would
now.
actually do it.
And he keeps it to the left-hand side and through for 1 behind, moving them on to 60 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's still 44 points at the margin, 24 minutes gone in the final term. And it's all Mitcham. RSVP, your invitation down to Walker Park tonight, because the party's going to be going on for 7 long days. There's no doubt about that. The kick goes out towards a big ruckman in Higginson. Couldn't pull the mark down. Over the football there was Jaden Brown. He had a good game. Charging through Jules Petrarca. Couldn't get rid of the football, and we will have a bounce.
It's been a well-deserved premiership, this one. They've been the dominant team. Even last year, they probably have so many regrets, and they've finally got redemption for maybe a premiership they thought they would have got last year. So it's well earned. It's Neil Winterton, what a coach he's been. Dean, you can talk about how hard it is to coach a premiership, but coming in as a playing coach, marvellous effort.
He's done a fantastic job, and to lose, 2 games for the whole year, hats off to him.
Came out towards Watson, who turned himself into a bit of trouble there. Holds deep wild. Over the top of him there, Macon, and we'll have a bounce.
The Hogels are just cream on the cake, aren't they?
Look, they're classy players, and you can keep them down for so long, but, you get the ball out of the middle, which the Basin were doing earlier. They were just dominating in through the middle and every stoppage. They didn't really have many opportunities, but you see what happens when Mitcham start winning the ball around the stoppage and around the middle of the ground, and you get it in quick to those guys, and yeah, they were devastating.
Well, slamming it through, Lachlan Cripps, a consolation goal for the Basin Football Club.
Yeah, they hadn't stopped trying there. Keen release Cardamone, who gave it to Lockie Cripps. That's all that is there, is a consolation prize. Margin is back out to 38 points.
You'd love to be out there playing these last 5 or 6 minutes, wouldn't you? It'd just be fantastic. And, it's just such a great feeling. Look, they're hugging already. The Hogels are down the forward line, and Pim looks exhausted, but he'd be just absolutely chuffed.
They're stuck in a few big ones.
Yeah, and Pimmy more than just about anybody. He's a real club man. The Mitcham Football Club means a hell of a lot to Steve Pim, and wouldn't be surprised if we see the big man reduced to tears after the siren.
It'd be well deserved. He's always hanging around after the game in the opposition room, so yeah, well done.
Get him on the mic after the game for sure.
The skip up from the Bears. Mills takes that ball out of the stoppage, sends it deep inside forward 50, rush behind over the line. Margin back to 37.
Just those no weeks off for the Basin as well. It's hard to do. It's so hard to do. Templestowe, what happened to last year.
Yeah, to play 4 tough games of footy in succession, and have to do your best.
Beat the unbeatable Ringwood too on the way through.
Yep.
Slap.
You got that right, Dino.
Lucky they had a plan B that afternoon.
No, Joel didn't.
Bell to Hogel on centre wing.
They did well to win the preliminary final, though, if we do remember.
They certainly did. Finds Bobby Petrarca. He's had a good day. Grand final day made for players like Bobby Petrarca. Great. Long kick out to the centre. Finds Davey Searle. Short one over the top. Looking for Halstead Wild, who gets the jukes up. Might get a 25-metre penalty against Cardamone, and he does. Umpire comes to the party on that occasion.
Yeah, Petrarca's been fantastic, hasn't he?
Umpire Paul Manolitsis. They've had a good day, our Eastern Football League umpires. Plenty of eyes and ears here watching them too. Always is grand final time. So Jimmy Halstead-Wild. Another one of the unsung heroes and one of about 5 Mitcham players with bright fluoro yellow boots.
Great to see him kick this.
Good as dead in front. He shouldn't have too many problems with it. Leans back on it though. Just off to the right. So 15-15, 105. Plays 9-13, 67.
Haven't had a sniff of it this quarter. The three-quarter time must have been the worst thing in the world for the Basin. You would have thought they were loving life.
With all the money you put on them at $1.30.
No, I was only taking bets on behalf of Brash Bet.
Dan Price uncorks the genie.
Ball in the middle of the ground, Whitnish. What a super game he's had. He spots up Faulkner, who's had a quieter second half, but he's played a good game because he snagged 3 sausages. Kicks the ball inside forward, 50. Hogan was looking for it. Snap around the body by Watson! You little ripper! And look at them all get around him as well. The celebrations, they're happening everywhere. They're on the field, they're in the stands, they're in the cars. Everyone's loving it. The whole team gets around him. What a sensational goal that was. That's his first of the afternoon. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Andy.
Oh, it's celebration mode down here. Jubilant scenes. The fanfare for Mitcham Tigers. Absolutely love it. Hugs on the boundary line. It's just a great place to be if you're a Mitcham Tiger.
44 points is the margin.
Take the mic to the crowd, I reckon. You'll get some jubilation out there.
Testimonials.
We tried that once.
And
it
not
didn't
the best
work.
of radio.
Aaron Brown. Handballs to Chicken Price, who sends a tumbling ball inside 50. Chopped off there by Warren, who's been solid down there all afternoon. Kick in the direction of Petrarca. The Basin have, for all the Mitchell's dominance in the last quarter, the Bears still haven't stopped trying. They've just been a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Matt Price has been fantastic. He's been easily the Basin's best player. I think him and Daniel have been great.
If they just had some runners today, I reckon they would have kicked more goals and put the pressure on earlier. But they just don't have the runners, the outsiders. They're the stoppage kings, but they need that run to come with it.
Julian Petrarca round the corner, releases a teammate.
Nice.
Ball's in the hands of Robbie. Pim's in a one-on-one, but it doesn't matter. There's the siren. Steve Pim drops to the ground. The Mitcham faithful stream onto East Burwood Reserve. The 34-year premiership drought is off the waiting list, into the record books. Congratulations to the Mitcham Football Club. Division 2 awaits. Everyone just swamps Pimmy. What a fantastic moment. And the twos, of course, the Mitcham Reserves won a premiership this morning as well. It's all happening out there. These are the moments as a football club that you remember forever. Dino, you were there not too long ago.
I got goosebumps, mate. I love it.
What's
It's
going?
fantastic.
You were on both sides of the ledger. What's going through the minds of the boys in green and red, and what's going through the minds of the boys in black and yellow?
Oh, black and yellow goes without saying. When you've played and coached in premierships, it's just there's nothing like it. And everyone that you'll speak to, they just say you can't describe it. You can't.
Boundary, boys.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare. Ray Baird's on the spot.
Matty McCubbin here, boys, president of Mitcham Footy Club. Well, mate, you finally did it.
Mate, it's been a long time coming, but this is probably the best feeling in life, I reckon.
And the guys were terrific. I mean, the first quarter they were very good, but that last quarter, did you see that coming?
Mate, mate, we've always believed in our boys. We just had to, they just had to believe in themselves, and it was all done.
And I mean, all your supporters, it's been a long, long time, so look, they're getting the reward, a big time at Walker Park today.
Mate, we have the most passionate supporter group in the history of the EFL, mate, and they fucking earned this every day.
Go and enjoy it, Matty. Go and enjoy it, boys.
Kisses left, right and centre, Matty McCubbin.
Normally you don't see crowds like this at the EFL lower divisions or even top divisions. I reckon are they up there in the top echelons of supporters?
Oh, absolutely. There's more out there around those Mitcham boys than there was around the Doncaster boys this time yesterday afternoon. They always have had a huge, passionate following, and like Matty said, they get around their players, and this will mean so much from the person who's seen them play one game to the bloke who's been watching them for the last 40 years.
They're one of the oldest clubs in the country. They're over 120 years old. They've won premierships galore, and then they had their rough trot. And this is where they bottomed out. Division 3 is as low as you could go for them. They've been over 100 years in Division 1. They're finally getting back into Division 2. And it's been 44 weeks of football to get them this far, because we talk about last year, they were so close.
Oh, look, I think they got it right off the field when they appointed Winterton. He knows his stuff. He's played at a higher level. He's played VFL. Today will start from the time that they appointed him.
Yeah. So what do you see as his qualities? Because he's obviously not only a player, but he's rejuvenated the group. And what else has he done this year?
Well, he comes in as being, in my opinion, as being the best player. Now, when you're the coach, you have to be, and you're a playing coach. It's not, you've got to follow the lead, and he has done it. He's done it at a high level, so he's got the runs on the board. And to be a player coach for a premiership side, mate, he's the man tonight.
Yeah.
He's led the club to exactly where they hoped, 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, and he's got it done. So
and they don't have a conventional forward line. They've just got those X factors, and it takes. When the game, in close vicinities, the Hogels, even in the second and third term, they were kicking goals in tight parameters. They've just got class. More than having a structure of bigs, they've just got class players all around the field that get it going.
Yeah, Chris Hogel kicked 4 and Jaden Hogel kicked 2. Steve Pym kicked 2. But neither of those 3 players, I would even say, beat their direct opponent. They just found themselves in the right spot at the right time. I think for the most part, the BASIN half back line was immense. It was just that full back line. Once it got to within 30 metres of goal, they found it almost impossible to stop the footy going through the big sticks.
The BASIN are so well coached, and they were so well drilled, and you could see the way that they were playing. They were holding it up into the wind. They were spreading Mitcham out. They were beating him at every stoppage. They were making stoppage after stoppage, and they were winning all the stoppages. It's just that when they got the ball into their forward half, they just couldn't convert early, and they missed a couple of goals crucial with the wind in the second quarter. And
were they going too deep, too soon?
Oh, look, I think when Mitcham took the ball out of the BASIN's forward line, the BASIN were too quick to kick it back in the same way it came, and those little spot kicks back inboard. Look, maybe, but
did age catch up with them?
Well, look, I'd say no, and only reason I really say that is because they're right in the game at three-quarter time. Okay, so where were they? Like, you were on them. You were on them at $1.30. So you answer your own question. If you answered your own question,
they were 10
fantastic.
points behind.
Yeah.
They had all the momentum.
Yep.
You they have to be favourites. I'm not saying they had to win, but they had to be favourites.
I don't think so. I mean, they were called Dad's Army when they knocked off South Belgrave a couple of years ago in Division 4, and age wasn't really a factor for them then. So
they just need runners more than young guys.
For mine, it just had a lot to do, and I would say 95% of what we just saw in that last term had to do with Mitcham's want and will to succeed and win a premiership, and a BASIN side that hasn't had a break since Queen's birthday weekend.
And Batty was less influential, and that opened it up for Higginson was under enormous pressure, but the midfield came on top for Mitcham.
And no doubt Winterton and Barker, the coaching staff there at three-quarter time, they would have just hammered home. It would have been nothing about the football. The structural talk would have been very minimal. It would all have been mindset, belief. Yep. Let's do this for the Mitcham faithful. Let's do this for the Mitcham Football Club. Yep. That sort of emotional sense. And you can tell the way they played the footy in the last quarter. They played with a lot of emotion.
See, there is destiny. There is destiny, isn't there?
Sometimes. For sure. Look, at three-quarter time, I don't know. Obviously, we were up here. We weren't down in the huddle. But, Winnow might have said something along the lines of, we've had the break. We've had some time off. They've played 4 hard finals. Let's get the ball on the outside and try and make them catch us. And that seems to be the instruction. And, again, we said it a couple of times with Higginson. I don't know whether it was an instruction at three-quarter time or even at half-time. A bit like Horton last year, he kept hitting the ball straight down.
Yep.
And Templestowe guys were jumping on it. As soon as they started getting the ball a bit more on the outside, the BASIN had to then defend, and then they sort of evened it up. They were getting slaughtered, Mitcham, early. The BASIN are so, like I said before, so well coached by Pickles. And
who would have won the medal for the BASIN if they kept going?
Matty Price.
Oh, Dan Price. So.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'll tell you what. Look, I agree with both of them. But Jaden Brown was fantastic.
He was.
Gee, he was good. He led up. He had Purcell, and Purcell was actually even zoning off him because he just couldn't go with him, and he just didn't get enough looks at it late in the game. So
no,
he was great. He was fantastic.
Do you subscribe to the old adage that you've got to lose one to win one? I mean, that turned out to be the way at South Belgrave. Is that nonsense? Will the BASIN learn from what happened today?
Oh, look,
tough
I think
competition.
I think it's going to be really. Really hard for them tonight because they were right in the game and they were actually playing the game was on their terms for pretty much 3 quarters. But like I said, at three-quarter time, they hadn't caught the horse. They were chasing it, but they hadn't caught it. And it happens so often that you try so hard, and they had 3 quarters to get in front, but they just couldn't do it.
What about Michael Glassborough? I know he's not the premiership coach, but does he take credit as a top coach of the league?
Not this year, but he is a premiership coach.
I can't remember who they beat.
No, but what I meant is he is a premiership coach, but he didn't win this year. Does he sort of the way he got BASIN so close, is it a lot of credit to him tactically?
Especially after they didn't even make the finals last season in this division. I mean, the way they started off the year completely surprised everybody. And they thumped Templestowe in round 1. Yep. They were the best team in the comp up till about round 4 or 5, along with Upper Ferntree Gully. It looked like they'd fallen off the pace. And then for them to fight back and still being good enough to finish 3rd, get the double chance, and then turn the tables on the Templestowe side at preliminary final. They deserve to be here, much like Doncaster East yesterday in Division 2. They were just beaten by the side that was comfortably. When we look back on this in 2 years' time, we won't remember the circumstances in which the BASIN lost. No. We'll be talking about how the good MITCHAM was all year in 2015 and how they deserve to be Division 3 premiers.
Yeah. Oh, look, absolutely. And look, like I said before, hats off to BASIN, and they're not going to want to be patted on the back and said, "Oh, well done, congratulations."
Yeah, they'll be hurting.
They'll be devastated. Absolutely. Like Spocky, Matt Smith. It's his last game today, and
Andy Cultrera as well. So end of an era of sorts down there.
Yeah, it is. I'm really good friends with Andy, and he's been a fantastic player. He's won league medals, won best on ground in grand finals. He's done pretty much everything he could do in a career, but very disappointing I'm disappointed for him today. So, it's going to be one winner.
Yep, here comes the blue ribbon medalist.
Wintish.
Number 6, the skipper of the MITCHAM Football Club, Jared Whitnish, best on ground in today's Division 3 grand final. And listen to the Vuvuzelas just going gangbusters out there.
He was good.
Yeah, he was. He was exceptional. We'll just try and talk through all the players as they come up and receive their medals and some of the work they did this afternoon. First one, of course, will be number 1, Braden Cross.
He's electric when he gets it, isn't he?
Player. I thought he was well held for most of the afternoon. Didn't have the impact he usually does, but bobbed up late to kick a goal.
Had a good season all the same, though, and missed a lot through injury as well, Paul.
Lucas Marrow, quiet, but had a very, very important season.
Last quarter was good.
Yeah, moved in the middle a couple of times.
He's gone straight from number 2 to number 5 here, so Jared Andriata's coming up. Poor old Jules Petrarca has missed out on a premiership medal.
No, well, yeah, he is captain, so...
Yeah, he is, that's true. Jared Whitnish, or did that Nick Higginson? No, Nick Higginson's going up now, the ruckman.
Really good second half. Like, Batty was fantastic for BASIN. But
it was a good battle.
It was a good battle,
of the ruckman. Number 9, Stevie Pym, Mr. MITCHAM Football Club. This will mean more to him than anything he's ever done in his football career. He eventually makes his way up. He's not one to go about things quietly, Pimmy. He gives the random bloke, gave him the medal a hug and then pumps the crowd up.
It could
Shane Crawford-like acceptance of the medal.
Do you reckon it could be Pimmy's last game?
Maybe. He's not getting any younger, Brash.
And he's had injury problems this year. A lot of injury problems this year.
Bobby Petrarca, the Bulldog. Finals football was made for this bloke, or this bloke was made for finals
I gave him my second best on ground. I thought he was fantastic.
As did I.
Yeah.
It's a good Petrarca name in the Eastern Football League is a strong Eastern Suburbs footy name, Petrarca. Davey Searle, BWS's favourite.
Serviceable game from him.
Jack Purcell did what he had to do, didn't set the world on fire.
He got touched up, I reckon, by Jaden Brown early.
He wants to play the zone, and he doesn't like a man up.
He's not going to care.
No, not tonight.
Nope.
Or ever.
Lee Warren, Purcell and Johnson, those guys, they just formed a very good defensive unit.
The third quarter, Lee Warren played well, deep in defence.
Daniel Johnson, he's one of the premier fullbacks, I think, in this division. He very rarely gets beaten. Always seems to do the job. Jaden Hogle, a couple of goals in the first half. In fact, 2 goals in the third quarter, rather. They both came just after half-time.
So good below his feet. Very clean.
Mark Watson, he had an interesting day. Not one of the big names, but he was one of the 4-quarter performers who went from first quarter to last and played some solid football. Well, 4 goals. A couple of them late, just to put the icing on a yellow and black cake.
He's freakish, this player.
Classy player, very classy.
Definitely a very, very important part of the premiership blueprint, and they'd be absolutely stoked they got him. The man with the biggest head in the EFL, according to Dean Burnell, Adam Boltrawait.
Just got the medal around it. Well deserved.
Josh Bell, former Donvale Magpies, skipper of the Heatherdale Career Club, second 11.
Had a great year, Josh.
And pulls off the mullet quite well. Very, very quick across half-back, good footballer. Underrated player at half-forward for the Tigers, Faulkner. He kicked 3 goals.
Really good early.
Yeah, very good.
Sensational. He got a couple of shots on goal away in the first quarter. One of the unsung heroes. Only remember calling Jenko's name a couple of times today, but he won't care at all. He's got a premiership medal around his neck. He's not paying for a beer tonight. That's what it's all about.
unless he's in a shout with Otis.
Jimmy Halstead-Wild, number 30. Played well as another one of those contributors. Jackson Glossop, number 39, usually plays in the sleeves. An underrated player across half-back who sets up attacking moves forward. The assistant coach, Carl Barker, we had a chat to at quarter time. Obviously a very important man with Neil having to hold the magnet board.
Yeah, he's vital with the playing coach. He's absolutely vital.
Team manager, didn't quite catch his name, but I'm sure he's done a pair of work this season.
Matt McCubbin.
The runner.
Andrew Strong.
Thank you.
Also of the commitment. Thank you.
Hard gig being the runner, isn't it?
The trainer, Brooke Witherow. Everyone gets a premiership medal. Where's mine for calling the game?
It sounded like a marathon with you calling it.
There's Zachy McCubbin. No, Matty McCubbin, Zach McCubbin. He plays for Norwood. Matty McCubbin, the president, also the team manager.
You know, he's put in a lot of time, Matty McCubbin. 7 years, I reckon, Paul, and he's rebuilt this football club from the top up.
Very, very young president. Here's Bobby Petrarca, Jules Petrarca, co-captain. The other co-captain, Jared Whitnish, our blue ribbon medalist, just controlled the clearances and not as good as Scott Penderby, but in the same mould. Tall left footer with a long kick.
Oh, he worked hard to get back as well to help his defence, so, and I rate that highly.
And here comes the playing coach, Neil Whitson. Big signing from Bayswater in the off-season. It's paid dividends straight away. He would be a happy, happy man. There's your premiers for season 2015 in Division 3, the MITCHAM Football Club. I think that begs the question, what do they need to add to their squad to go up and play finals football in Division 2? The obvious answer is not much.
Ruckman centre forward.
Maybe one or two players here and there.
Running backs.
A pretty well-rounded side.
No, it's a big jump.
I think they'd probably, this group would do better in Division 2 than the 120 South group that went up.
Oh, they were decimated though, Wanty South. They lost a lot of players this year, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be writing Wanty South off by no stretch of the imagination.
No.
They'll come back harder next year.
Here's Neil Winterton.
I think if Mitcham going up, I reckon they probably could do with another ruckman to support Higginson.
Remember the great Chris Melder, he seems to have disappeared. There they go. One of the greatest moments in any footballer's career. Doesn't matter whether you're playing back out bush, out here in the Eastern Football League or in the AFL. Everyone plays to win flags. And that's exactly what the MITCHAM Football Club have done this afternoon. They ran out winners. Did anyone actually write down the final score? Because I forgot to do that.
Enough.
And it's been wiped off the scoreboard.
I think we know who won.
I think it was 8-12, 60 to 16, 17, 113, I think.
No, that's wrong.
The man who only has 2 stoppages in a corner.
No, not stoppages. Not centre clearances.
You know, the Basin, you know, obviously they're just walking off the ground now. They showed respect and hung around and.
That has to be the hardest thing any footballer has to do after
it's not much fun.
going down on grand final day and pretending to be happy for the other blokes.
The Basin 9-13, 67, Mitcham 16-15, 111.
Gee, it wasn't far
score.
off.
Close enough.
It was a good effort.
What was the margin there, Soupy?
Oh, that's 44 points.
44 point
Well, I said
win.
42, so I wasn't far off it.
44-point win, and there's the Mitcham song blaring across the East Burwood Reserve. Our life care branch providers are on the spot. Hopefully have a chat to a few very, very happy Mitcham people before we...
I'm sure my man Ray Baird will be able to get Stephen Pym on the with the earplug shortly, I reckon.
Oh, that would just be a dream chat, having a go at Pimmy.
It's pretty close at the MCG as well, actually.
Yeah, 4 points in three-quarter time in favour of North Melbourne.
You're joking me.
After Richmond had a 20-odd point lead at half-time.
Oh, see, I told you.
They've been able to grab him.
Yeah, I've been able to grab Stephen Pym, the premier forward of the Division 3 competition. Stephen, congratulations. How do you feel, mate?
I don't know. This is unbelievable. Yeah, speechless, really am. I've dreamt about this since a little kid. For it to actually happen, to even wear the jumper on a day like today is just the best thing ever. But to win, well, crikey, unbelievable.
You're so loyal to the club, mate. You've been through thick and thin. You know, what does it mean? Like, what's next for the Mitcham Football Club?
Oh, we'll give a big night, I tell you right now. First. But no, mate. Obviously, I think the boys are going to stick fat. All go up to Divi 2 together. I don't know if I'm going or not, but I'll be watching if anything. But I don't know. I reckon they're young, they're enthusiastic, they're a great bunch of blokes. Best 21 blokes you can have in your life. Yeah, we'll go all right in Divi 2. We can't wait for it. I tell you right now, it's going to be awesome.
And guys, questions up in the commentary
Pimmy,
position?
congratulations, mate. I'm just watching you through the screen. I said on the call that this would mean more to you than just about any other bloke out there. The Mitcham Football Club has been like a family. Talk us through the last 15 minutes when you knew you were home and hosed.
I couldn't stop crying. I think when I kicked that goal, when Chris kicked that goal, I think it was the first goal in the last quarter, I just started crying. I don't know, we still had to work our asses off, buns off to do that, but to win it, but I just couldn't help it. It was unbelievable.
Does what you're feeling right now have less to do about footy and more to do about fairly and squarely purely the Mitcham Football Club?
Yeah, I reckon 110%. Right. We're the best Mitcham. It's the best family in the world, I reckon, Mitcham family. They've waited 34 bloody years for this stuff, and this is unbelievable. She's going to go off tonight, boys, I'll tell you right
now.
Pimmy, it's Brash here, mate.
Hi, Brasher.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, look, I spoke to you before the start of the game, and you said to me it was 34 years ago when your father played in the last premiership. It must mean so much to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be there. Another number 9 that's Pim wearing in a premiership for Mitcham it means more to me than anything.
Pimmy, get your skates on, mate. They're about to sing the song. You don't want to miss that.
See you, mate.
Sorry to cut him off there, but all the players are going in there to belt the tune out. Now, LifeCare boundary riders aren't too far away. We'll get this one live. It's going to be one of the biggest renditions of all time. I thought there might be some tears on the big man, and that almost made me cry watching him carry on like that.
Good on him. He's a bloody good player, and okay, he's in the twilight of his career. And
that club's killed for people like that.
He's just an absolute ripper.
His old man, of course, Greg Pimp, was a Mitcham player. It's just a family thing for Steve Pimp. As they're just getting themselves sorted. We'll get it straight through to you on the effects mic as the human head, the biggest pill in the Eastern Football League, going to Bolterate, makes his way into the rooms.
Interestingly though, Paul, the two Hogels and Pimmy played in those 2 losing Scoresby grand finals. This means a lot to them.
And here we go, the Mitcham song.
Anthony Faulkner missed the biggest song you'll ever get in your football life. He was holding the cup up, getting photos when all his teammates were in the huddle, and the best moment in football has got to be the last song you sing in the year.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be singing it probably more than a dozen times tonight.
You've got to get the feeling if you're driving down Whitehorse Road at 4 o'clock in the morning, you see 22 blokes, probably all in the nude, out in the middle. Walker Park is belting that out. It's one of the greatest songs in football as well. Why wouldn't you want to sing it? A couple more interviews maybe coming your way before we finish up here. But what a fantastic result it has been for the Mitcham Football Club today. Harp on it. 34 years, it doesn't sound like a long time. But in terms of when you haven't won a flag, it's a bloody long time.
You weren't even born or even thought of.
No, I was still 13 years away.
Ray Baird had only just retired.
Yeah, and not only is it a victory for the players, but it's a victory for the club as well. They're not only, the helpers and the supporters and the trainers and that. And let's not forget that they hosted the Division 4 finals and and put on a magnificent show. This is a great reward for the faithful, the Mitcham faithful today.
Just watching Scotty Homewood walking around. He started all this not too long ago. Scotty, he's just walking around, soaking it all in. Probably just had a look at it.
He's just keeping his distance, though, isn't he? He wanted to be this man.
He started off at Mitcham as a playing coach like Neil, and then they finished off his career as just as a non-playing coach. Handed the reins over this season, and Neil's done a fantastic job. But it all started somewhere, and that was with Scotty Homewood not too long ago. Plenty of Mitcham people.
Is it bittersweet to be the man before the premiership coach?
No, look, I think it was his decision to leave, and he decided to leave at the right time for him. He would be so happy for everyone inside those Mitcham rooms, everyone involved with the club. You made a good point, Gav, about how all the finals are played at Mitcham every single year. So many Mitcham people have opted to stay at the club and run the club to get a bit of coin in and put, make sure the club looks good from the outside, rather than watch Mitcham in the finals game that they did play against Templestowe a couple of weeks ago. So I think that personifies the Mitcham Football Club and its people.
When they won the Wooden Spoon in Division 2, they were in a dire state. This is a grand comeback for a grand club.
Andy Paolacci's down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare.
Yeah, thanks, Semmers. I've got coach and player Neil Winterton. We're just walking to the position now. Sorry, boys. Give me one moment.
It's all right. It's all right. We can see you down there. Neil,
34 years in the making, mate. Describe how you're feeling right now.
Oh, I think the first word's relief, to be honest with you. Yeah, look, we had to battle so hard, and we knew that was going to be the case. The Basin threw everything at us, and at three-quarter time, look, yeah, we really had to dig deep, and it was so pleasing to see the boys do that because they really deserve this, mate. Like, obviously before I got here, the last couple of years, they've been a really good side, and sorry, I just got distracted. And they just really deserved today, so it was really pleasing to see them get the win.
I was in the huddle for the Basin at three-quarter time, and they were supremely confident. They really backed themselves in. What was the message to the boys?
Oh, look, it was just that, we'd worked hard right from November and did a bit of a mini pre-season leading into the finals. So, although it probably didn't appear it for those first three quarters, we were really confident our fitness would come to the fore, and it sort of proved that in the last quarter. But yeah, look, I understand why the Basin would have been confident at three-quarter time, because I thought they had the ascendancy in that third quarter and were probably running on top of the ground. But we really dug deep when it was required, and that was great.
And just on a personal level, managed to dob one goal in the first quarter. Must be pretty happy with that.
Oh, it's always good to get a goal, isn't it, mate? Especially on grand final day, yeah.
Absolutely it is. I'll just throw it up to the boys.
Neil, congratulations, mate.
Thanks,
I'm sure you must be on top of the world. First year in, coming across from the Bayswater Footy Club. You probably couldn't have dreamt that you'd be standing here on grand final day. Medal around your neck, Carlton draft in your hand. You probably prefer a Vic, and that's the only thing you change.
No, definitely not a Vic, mate. Not a Vic kicker at all. So, no, you got that wrong. But, yeah, look, mate, I was pretty fortunate, to be honest with you. I inherited a pretty good group, so I'm certainly not going to stand here and take all the credit for it. They're a really talented bunch of blokes, so they really deserve this more than me. I just sort of come along and provided some sort of guidance and sort of come along for the ride.
And just quickly, mate, I saw you mentioned credit. I saw Scotty Homewood before, just soaking it all up. The man you took over from. A lot of the work that happened this season, he started a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did you talk to him throughout the season, maybe even leading up to the grand final or before the season? What has your relationship with Scotty been like, and have you got anything to say to him?
Oh, look, I haven't, mate. I just sort of said g'day to him during the year. He sort of, I don't know, he probably wanted to keep away, I guess. But yeah, look, mate, he probably deserves more credit than I do. He put in so much work over the previous, I think it was 4 or 5 years. So, he certainly took this group a long, long way. And, like I said, I was fortunate to come in this year. I think when we were cherry ripe to win it.
Oh, g'day, winner. It's Dean Burnell. How you going? Congratulations.
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm not too bad. I see to your left, about 3 or 4 metres away, you got big Normie Clark there.
Yeah. He always enjoys a bit of camera time.
He loves a bit of camera time, the big fella.
It's always about him.
Yeah, it is always about him. But mate, earlier in the game, up until about half-time, the Basin were really killing you early in the stoppages. I couldn't tell you the numbers, but they were enormous. Was there an instruction with your ruckman Higginson to hit the ball a little bit wider, get it out of that congestion? Because once you guys got on the outside, you look so much better.
Yeah, mate, you're spot on. Yeah, in the first half, they certainly had the ascendancy in the clearances. I think we just weren't getting the sweeping role right, to be honest, and we sort of were exposed at the back. So we addressed that, and and Higo was fantastic. Yeah, if we could get it out into space, we thought we had the better leg speed than them, so he was able to do that in the second half, and that certainly helped us.
Yeah, no, it was congratulations, mate. You've played fantastic.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you took over the reins. You took over the reins from Scotty Homewood, and it's been a 34-year drought for the Mitcham Footy Club.
Yep.
How does it make you feel to lead them to the promised land?
Oh, look, I'm just so happy that this club that have had some really tough years. I know they were battling for relegation at one stage in Div 3, and just such a passionate supporter group. I was staggered how many people we had at training on Thursday night watching us. There was over 150 people. The rooms were packed. So I think the supporter group, who have probably been through the bad times, just really deserve some success. And mate, they're as happy as the players are today. That's no word of a lie. They're so happy for us, and I've shook that many hands since the end of the game. It's incredible. So I was just happy for all the supporters that we could get the win.
Congratulations, Neil. Thanks for joining us for a brief chat, mate. Go get stuck into a few more of those Carlton drafts.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Neil Whitten, the playing coach of the Mitcham Football Club, come across from Bayswater and just enjoyed a very, very fruitful time. The boys aren't too far away from getting Jared Whitnish, our blue ribbon medalist, the co-captain of the Mitcham Football Club. Jared, congratulations on a ripper game, and I suppose more importantly, you got the premiership medal hanging around your neck.
Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, it's been a ripper day so far, so couldn't be happier.
You've captained the club for a few years now, and it's sort of been building to this moment. Have you been able to